Welcome to episode 50, the big 5-0. On this one, we've got the lovely Ashley Green back on the podcast to talk about the new album that they've just released with Holding Absence.
Had to do a part 2, didn't we?
Yeah.
Had to happen. Obviously, we talk about what an incredible record this is, the whole process of recording it, how Ash is feeling right now, you know, post-release. And then, as usual, we derail on our crazy stuff of our thoughts of life and motivation. It's a good listen. Just go listen to it.
It is awesome. It's always good to have Ashley back on the podcast. But as Pearson has just said, make sure to go and pick up a copy of The Greatest Mistake of My Life. It is on Spotify, all streaming platforms, physically in iTunes or online stores. Just go and get this hell of a boy of an album. But anyway, if you haven't already, check us out on social media, on all the obvious platforms. There's no point in listening because you probably already know what they are, apart from TikTok. But anyway, no. And if you haven't already, make sure to go check out all of our previous 49 episodes that we've already thrown into the magical world of the internet on all podcasting platforms or on YouTube if you want to watch the video version of some of the podcasts. And as well, if you haven't already, and you've probably not, join our Discord because it's a hell of a laugh and we post about episodes before they even come out. Or if you want to throw some questions in, or we will ask them as well. Or if you just want to post a picture of your coffee, that is there too. So
And
come join our Discord.
And pets.
And pets.
And pets, yeah.
Before we let you get into the episode, though, one thing I do need to say, go into your local HMV, find the CD or the LP of this record, and just prioritize it in a, you know, eye-level space so people see it. Go do that. It'll make sense when you listen to this episode. Enjoy. There we go.
He's back.
We're in. We're in, boys.
We can't acknowledge that Ash is here. We just got to casually sway through it like we did last time.
Yeah. Yeah, mate.
I remember getting like 30 minutes in and being like, Ash, have we even said you're on this podcast? You're like, nah, it doesn't matter. Don't worry.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, mate. Doesn't matter. For those, yeah, same rules apply, mate. For those that need to know, they know. No, wait. For those that already know, they know, and for those that need to know, it's all in the stuff, mate. It's all in the lettering, isn't it? The words on the the title. Yeah, mate.
A thumbnail on the YouTube stuff.
Yeah, mate. When you fellas like, you know, I know we like sort of like joked about me coming back on, and I was like, God, I would actually be banging. Because, like, I know we talk, like, really infrequently, but when we do talk and it's about coffee, I'm just like, God, there's nothing purer in my life than the talks about coffee with you boys. Like, it's bloody banging. It's so good.
Should we just start it the exact same way as we started it last time? What you're brewing in a minute?
Oh, mate. I got, still, I don't know if it was the same as before, but, well, actually, no, I know it's not the same as before because it's not as much cold brew. I don't brew as much cold brew. My girlfriend, on the other hand, my partner, she's brewing like cold brew like it's fucking going out of fashion. Like, honestly, so much. We've got like big liter bottles now in the fridge full of cold brew. And
Nice.
yeah, mate, I'm still on the hot stuff. The old V60, still that, mate.
Yes.
Yeah, still that. I got a lovely bag of Say, which is really nice, which I got from a place in Bristol called Sweven. What else have we got? We've got a bag of this lovely non-profit full court press coffee, which they take all of their profit and they just scrap it. So they pay for the beans and they sell the beans for how much they cost and they roast them themselves. And I get to crack open a bag of that this week, which I'm very excited about, mate.
The excitement.
Yeah, mate. I know Lun was telling me he's got a nice bag he got ready for today. A nice bag of coffee that he's got.
And I've still not opened it. So I've literally got it here because I want to take some sort of like photography thing with it before I actually like crack it open. But yeah, we've got that. But I've just been to Chester and got a caffeine high, and I've just picked up that, which looks like a lovely boy.
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
A lovely boy. Apparently it's sweet, vibrant, and jammy.
Oh, mate. That sounds good. I always
All
think
the good stuff.
the lighter, I find now, like, I used to really like I used to get really like gassed on stuff like dark arts, and I'd be like, oh yeah, nice like cool dark packaging. Now I'm like, the plainer and the whiter the packaging, the better. The more likely I am to be like, it's perfect. The less that's on it, the better. If it's just the brand name, I'll buy it. Yeah.
I think that's the bittersweetness about.
Oh
yeah,
it's just like a smiley face, and I'm like, yeah, sold.
Yeah, one of those.
Yeah.
I think that's the bittersweet about dark arts, because you get really attached to like one flavor, like one batch that they do, and then they change the name.
Yeah.
It's got all these like, what's like that now?
Yeah, and yeah, genius, man. Whatever they like, however they decided to do all the branding, they just smashed it, mate. We have the subscription, like the monthly subscription, so we get like a bag sent every month, and I think we're like due a bag. I'm pretty sure we're due a bag, because we've definitely had it twice now, and they were really nice. They were both really good. Like not like oh, I wouldn't expect it to be that good, but surprisingly like really good. You know when you get
like
something
different beans every time you get it.
Yeah. So it's like exclusive to the. Look at me plugging it at Dark Arts Coffee. The every time you get like the it's like exclusive to the subscription. Like you can only get like the what am I trying to say? You can only get that like beans, through the subscription.
And there's me touching the yeah, I'm on the precipice of coffee at the moment, so obviously they got me into Matt got me the what's it called? Airpress. And then so I'm literally Grumpy Mule, Starbucks and Aldi's on. There you go, boys. No fancy packaging for me.
Hey mate, it's a step though, right? It's a step in the direction. You've just gone away from instant coffee, and it's like, right, I got myself, mate, an AeroPress is like, yeah, you're on the right tracks there. You can't go wrong with an AeroPress. It's the perfect combination of percolation and immersion. It's perfect, mate. You can't beat it, mate. Fantastic.
Then you'll be getting scales, and then you'll be getting a Chemex, and then it's all downhill.
Grinder,
yeah.
I seen a Ryan post. He got a delivery of your cold brew or your partner's cold brew, and I was like, I messaged him being like, mate, I'm jealous. It's infamous now.
Yeah, mate. Old Chisholm. I don't know if I can say. Basically, the cold brew he got was a prototype. Well, not a prototype, but like a test batch of the beans for a Holding Absence coffee that we're working in collaboration with.
I was just about to say, when Holding Absence doing cold brew, perfect.
Yeah, mate. Goes like a nice little a test batch, if you like, of some beans that we've been working with a roaster on, which hopefully will be out sometime in the next couple of months. But we've like locked it in. It's a roaster in Wales, and Scott's like finalising everything with them, mate. Bloody gassed, mate. Gassed. I'll send you a bag, mate, and you guys can dish it out and share the goods.
Yes. I'll be sniffing on them every day. Like, get my fix. Let's go.
Mate. It'll be like different to doing limited vinyl variants, because these are perishable. You're like, oh, I don't want to use the special china, I don't want to use the special plates, the special cups, but you have to, because they're going to run out, and you don't want it to get nasty. But yeah, mate. Yeah, that'll be nice when it comes out. I think we're going to keep it definitely keep it quite limited, just because we don't want to like
thing as well.
Yeah, it is one of those, isn't it, where it's like you want to do the same like even looking at the variant vinyls, man, like yesterday I was like, God, there's like so many. There's like, obviously there's something like 2,750 vinyls that have been produced, because there's 500 different not 500, but 6 different variants across 500, and then 250 for the HMV variant. And the HMV one that I think, Lun, you got one, didn't you, mate? Mate, so you went to a shop and bought one. Some of the poor guys that pre-ordered that like have to wait until the end of the month to get their HMV pre-order.
What?
Like, yeah, we're just, and because obviously, HMV have obviously ordered their stock to sell in the shop, but haven't ordered it for the online, so they can't ship it out. But it's all to do with Brexit, mate. It's all to do with Brexit. So
Of course.
as upset as I am for the people who have pre-ordered stuff like that, there's nothing anyone can really do. Even HMV and all these people, but it's just frustrating, when you do all these nice things to try and get things out to people for the release day, and it just comes a little bit. It's that bloody big evergreen boat stuck in the Egyptian sea, mate. It's been holding the vinyls up. They're all on the big boat in Egypt.
I had a similar experience with that. I pre-ordered the 10 Haley Williams vinyl single.
Oh, nice.
Came out back in October.
Yeah,
it turned up last week.
Oh my god!
Oh my
god, mate!
I forgot you even paid for the thing.
Yeah, innit? Bloody hell! Last week, and it's April, mate. It's April. God, so you would have ordered that like when me and my partner started, like, when I essentially moved to Bristol and we started living together. But fucking, you've only just got it. That's mental, mate.
My purchase is as old as you moving into
moving
your partner.
That's mad. That's conkers. Because that would have been the same time we put Beyond Belief out as well. Like, we've started and released a whole album campaign. I'm mistaken for Williams to get your vinyl over to you, mate. Bloody mental.
Madness. Absolutely madness.
So speaking of the vinyl and like moving on to topics we should probably talk about, how does it feel in the Facebook group? Because I see it and I'm like, that's fucking mad. It's like in the Holding Absence group, just like, oh yeah, here's one of the all variants I've bought of the vinyl and shit.
Oh, so like people buying like more than one
vinyl. Yeah.
Mate, it's mad. Like, it's mad. Like, you guys owning, a copy each. I'm just like, blessed, thank you. Like that's like so fucking like amazing to me and the band, to all of us. Like, just that little bit of like, even listening to it, man. Like, some people have messaged me and I'm like, those, the people that have like, or are super busy all the time and like are working a lot and still take that like 50 minutes to just sit through the whole album and listen to it. I'm like, man, like, just cheers. Do you know what I mean? Because like, obviously it's like, it's so nice, but it is people, like I was talking to a friend about this earlier today, and like, I haven't like really listened to a lot of music in the last year just because of how, like, I can't really think of the right word, but how like defeated I am by the whole not touring thing. Like, I want to get excited about an artist and then go and see the artist. So for us, it's like, it's a little, I understand that this is quite a little bit selfish, but like, I know that asking people to listen to the album as like a bare minimum is like, I understand if you don't want to listen to this. So it does mean so much that people have listened to it, let alone spent money on more than one copy of an album when people are like stretched to the edge of their like financial limits. It's like, it's mind blowing, mate, because when I think of the band, we're still just four fellas from, our little hometowns just wanting to play shows, man. So it's honestly, mate, it's conkers. It's like, and like we were just saying, like the fact we've got a little magazine filled with like loads of Beth's nice photos of the boys.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I don't understand, mate. I don't understand like how we got so lucky. I still don't, and again, but I think the most important thing is that we're very like fulfilled with how the album came out. We're all super happy and we're all just like really grateful that everyone is supporting it the way that they are and as passionately as they are as well,
You can see how much work you've put into it, like through everything that you've been posting, the whole build up to it and the whole behind, like the documentary and everything that you did. Like, you can see how much work's gone into it and how much thought even behind the concept of the album. And I was looking through some reviews and all sorts, mate, and like literally you're striking like 10 out of 10s, like 9 out of 10s. And I saw one comment that was calling it a tear-jerking masterpiece. So I thought, fucking hell, you'd be happy with that.
Mate, innit? Like,
insane.
Like, I don't know, like some of the songs are older than our first record. There's a song that it's on the like CD version of the record.
That's the reason I bought the CD. I won't.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, like an entirely, you know, a track older than the first record is on the CD, and you know, for people to say that and have that opinion of the album, it's just like fucking hell, like you know, again, like just four boys writing music that they love and would want to listen to, and so it's somebody's idea of a masterpiece. Is just like, are you sure? You know, thank you, but are you sure? You know, man, yeah, it's really, really nice, man. Yeah, fucking, it's weird. It's just weird that it's like it's our band, you know. But yeah, mate, yeah, wild. Still the same boys, just wanting to cause a bit of havoc in the van with some shows, you know.
I thought it was a nice throwback to when we did the first podcast with you, where you were talking about your logic and how you perform, that you wanted just to be the loudest drummer in terms of performance and passionate, and so you can actually
you've
feel
achieved
it when
that,
you're
definitely.
Yeah,
100,000 fucking %, because it is so good. You could, like, when you play, when you kick in, like on No More Roses, where it's just like it just thunders in, like, fuck, that's insane.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, all the, like, I think that's definitely credit to Dan Weller and Taylor Larson for all the work they did, even when we were like weighing in on like mix notes and things, and we were going back and forth with Dan. Just testament to how hard that those guys worked as well. It really comes through because of how much work they put in, you know, and how hard they worked. Yeah, but yeah, mate, it's weird. We've been practicing the songs like together for the first time, and for the long, you know, for 5 years, Holden Absence has been like a band where at a show there is no room to, you know, it's like if you go to a show and a band sort of dips down and there's a quiet period, you're like, oh, I'm just gonna nip to the bar and get a drink, or I'm just gonna pop to the toilet. Like, we never wanted to give people that chance. It was always like there is something happening to keep people like drawn in, you know. But we've been practicing these songs, and it's like we'll finish them, and it's almost like, God, that moment where it just slowly pitters into nothing, just in the practice room, like I've said to Lucas a few times, I'm like, man, it gives me like chills, the thought of like it just go into nothing, and people just sort of stood there like, oh, bloody hell, this is all right, this. And then there's like the like, yeah, whatever, you know, like whether people are gonna even applaud the songs, I don't know. But yeah, there are definitely moments like in the record that we've anticipated live where it's kind of like, God, imagine just this song finish, you know, like No More Roses just having this big reprise part at the end of the song that's like a minute long, but then it just, and we're not even playing, and like these synths are happening and these textural layers are playing, and then it just sort of dips out and it's just like complete silence, and we're like, God, just hear it. Like, it's just mad, man. But yeah, I ultimately like want to be as loud for when I can be loud, and then gonna chill and be nice and quiet, mate. Getting old now, getting on. Can't keep doing all this heavy loudness. Like, it's catching up with me.
So one of my, sorry, Matt, go on.
No, mate. It's okay.
I was gonna say one of my favorites on there is the morning song. So it's like a 7-minute like epic. Which when I was listening to it, I could picture that live as well at the same time. So I'm really hoping you guys play it. Just say.
Oh yeah, mate. Yeah, for sure. It's mad now because we've got.
It's gonna be brutal,
mate. So like having Penance, which is like 6 minutes long, Wilt, which is 6.5 minutes long, and Morning Song, which is now 7. Like, the fact we even have a 7-minute song is jokes. Like, it's a joke.
All the great bands have like over 5-minute tracks.
Yeah.
In it, and the second track on the record is like what, 5 minutes 20 seconds or something. Like, Curse Me is like, yeah, like 5 minutes long. I think I'm gonna have a look now. I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna get it up on the. I'm gonna do my Jamie thing. Oh, sorry, I just got you red flagged. Yeah, like Curse Me is 5.5 minutes long, and yeah, like the thought of, you know, like, yeah, Matty, like you just said, playing Morning Song live, you know, the fact that it's just almost like subsequently the chorus part as an intro, the verse, chorus, outro. You know, we've done that now, and we did the live stream as of recording this podcast. You know, we did the live stream listening party last night, and you know, like, I think Lucas said something really poignant about the song that was like, I can't remember. I've completely forgotten the fact we were just talking about. What were we talking about? We're talking about Morning Song and how
ending with that at a gig.
Yeah, I can't remember what he said. It's completely lost me.
I think during that live stream, the listening party, which, by the way, the production of that was incredible. Usually I think of like a listening party of like, oh, we'll be in the chat. But mate, to see you, Lucas, and Scott talk about it, have Dan pop up, questions appear at the bottom, was so nice to watch.
All Rico, man. That was all Rico. I said on the stream. Yeah. All Ryan, me and him, like, we sat through for the last two or 3 days before, just like being like, right, when Celebration song comes on, we'll have a nice picture from the visualizers that Beth took, and that'll be the background. And then when we play Curse Me and we come back, be a picture of the from the Curse Me stuff, and you know, all those little bits like coming back and forth were, you know, even like the merch video, the tour video, all those little bits, like, you know,
to the documentary and the
Rico had thought of like everything, and he was like, oh, we'll do a little bit of this, and he'd be in like the private chat just off to the side, and we'd be talking, and then occasionally all three of us would look over because he'd said something, and we were like, oh, and then tour, tour's gonna be great. I can't wait to play these songs live. You know what I mean?
Well, there was that bit with America where you and Lucas were like, can we talk about that? And Scott was like, yeah, it's fine. Ryan said it's okay.
And mate, he's well and truly done us. But yeah, man, hopefully maybe next year there'll be a little trip. Finally, mate, a chance at redemption.
You've been waiting long enough, haven't you?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, but again, you know, when the time is right and when the right tour comes and it's sort of in the fans' interest, you know, when we can sort of service everyone enough to warrant seeing all of America and, you know, not just sort of like particular parts, you know, hopefully it'll be great for the people when we can actually go out there, you know, the same sort of thing we were going to do. But yeah, hopefully a good tour will come up, mate, and we can get it in the books.
I think it'll be extra special this time, especially with this record.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And like going back to Morning Song, I love what Lucas said in that live stream, which was the greatest mistake of my life. That cover is almost like end credits.
Oh yeah,
blew me away because I ended on the Morning Song and then going into that, it's perfect. Once he said that, it clicked. I was like, damn, yeah, it is. Yeah, it suits it so much.
Yeah, it's great, man. I think it's almost like it's kind of weirdly poetic that our last show, the last live show we played, that Gracie Field song played at the end of the show, and now, like, the next time we play a show, either the Lucas version will play or the Gracie Fields version will play, like, whatever, you know, we might not even do it. But, you know, the fact we joked, you know, at the time, and we were like, I think I might have even said it the last time we chatted, but we were like, God, imagine if Scala was the last show. That'd be like creasing. That'd be so funny. And then 2 months later, we're in the studio, and then after we come out of the studio, it's like, Scala was the last show. and now the album is out, and it's like, yeah, that song, you know, coming back, it's almost, you know, a little bit like full circle. Yeah, man, it's nice. Yeah, it's really nice.
So talking about Morning Song again, do you know, like, when you went in, was that intended to be like this big 7-minute song, or was it one of those with working with Dan, it kind of like progressed as you went on?
I think the demo. Now I think I'm gonna do a little Drogan again. I'm gonna Jamie myself. I'm gonna pull up a demo from before we recorded. So let's see.
Sneak peeks here.
Come on now, Google Drive. Wait again. I think here we go. So let's see. So in the demos folder, we've got Afterlife there. Birdcage. Birdcage was gonna.
Oh no.
Go back.
Yeah.
Right. Wait, you're back. There we
You're
go.
back.
There we go.
There we
The
go.
audio broke up
Oh,
there, mate.
oh, sorry.
No, it's all good. Just thought to let you know.
What was I? What did I just say? What
Morning
was I
song
telling
demo.
you? Yeah. Sorry, I'm in the drive for looking at
That makes sense.
Afterlife and sorry, not Afterlife. Gravity on the album. Completely at the time. Yeah, Morning Song was always going to be 7 minutes. I'm looking at the demo now, like version 4, and it's like 7 minutes 5 seconds. So
That's
it was
sick.
always going to
Nice.
be well long. But I think we when we sort of touched on it in the live stream yesterday, but you know, we'll go over it now. Like when we were working on the record and the parts in between, you know, there are real nice respite. So like after No More Roses, there's almost this like saxophone part playing with acoustic guitar and the ambient layers. And at the start of Celebration Song or the track Awake, you know, we really wanted that to be like a Lucas phrased it like perfectly, like someone like ripping open some curtains and being like, oh my God, like fucking I'm alive, you know, that like sensation of everything sort of slowly fading in before, you know, you're like awake. And yeah, the end of the Morning Song, there are like sort of callbacks to the start of Celebration Song at the end of Morning Song. You know, like the vocal takes of like someone whispering I'm alive, the acoustic guitar instead of the piano. Yeah, man, all those things that we were like, we want to do stuff like this, but was kind of like the little magical evenings with Dan when we could all like sit there and like, oh, let's try the piano here. Oh no, the piano's not working. Oh, Scott, quickly play the acoustic guitar, you know, like little bits like that, and getting friends to like literally messaging friends like one evening and being like, oh yeah mate, yeah, on your voice note, can you just record yourself saying I'm alive, whispering it, and then send it to me. I'll edit it, give it to Dan, and we'll put it at the end of this track that's going to finish the new record.
Nice.
But you couldn't tell them that, and they were like, yeah, what's this for? I was like, oh, I'll tell you another time.
It doesn't matter right now.
yeah But yeah, man, that was like, yeah, really like special, like those moments. Those are the things that I think we'll like always remember, you know, for the rest of our lives, with those sort of, not necessarily the big tracking sessions of tracking all the rhythm guitars and drums, but the nice creative moments with Dan when we got to do all the like cool parts in between the songs that really make the album flow as like almost like a cinematic or like a movie piece, but for the ears, you know. Yeah,
I was going to say, in regards to this album's overall aesthetic, is it something that came naturally with the inspiration for the title, or was it something that you came up with like absolutely separately, that you wanted this vibe to it?
Yeah, it's sort of, I think when we started writing, we so I'm kind of like recounting the times where like Scott and Lucas were working on songs. So, you know, I wasn't necessarily in the room writing these songs and having these discussions, but so Gravity and Afterlife were written with and Drugs and Love. Those 3 songs were written together to be songs for the album. Afterlife didn't really go down too well in the demo form. It was a little like not what we wanted, a bit too poppy. Gravity was like, immediately we were like, this is a banger, but like why and how, and like, should we sit on this? And, you know, obviously, you know, once the America tour thing happened, we decided to record that in Birdcage, and, you know, that's all like part of the history. But yeah, I think this what's the word I'm looking for? The aesthetic and the themes and the visual themes and stuff came when Scott sent over the demo for Beyond Belief that he'd been working on. Immediately, I remember like hearing that and being like, this is like classic. This is like, I couldn't explain it now, but I remember at the time feeling like this is like the version of Hold an Absence that I knew I wanted to hear in 2016, but I'm now hearing in 2019, early 2020. And I'm super excited about, you know, this was like the era of the band that I was like, shit, this is like not just taking it up a step, not taking it up a level, but taking it up like an entire, like taking it into an entirely different like ballpark, and like completely like wiping everything that people knew off the table and being like, here we're like starting again. So I think when the song came out, people were a little bit like, this is weird, like this isn't necessarily like the afterlife hold and absence that people were expecting after Birdcage and Gravity. But then once we put that song out, and now the album is out, I feel like Beyond Belief is more of like a, oh, I get it now. I get why this song was the first song. I get why, you know, this, you know, being one of the first demos and sort of what kind of directed the theme of the change. I think people get it now, and why we maybe chose to lead with that song over maybe Afterlife, which we knew we were going to put out as a single anyway, but we were kind of holding to our chest so we could be a bit more like, you know, here's the new album, and fucking here's a massive, like, rip-roaring rager, you know?
I feel like with Beyond Belief now, with the record, there's like, it's like there's context there where it just keeps going. Every track flows into one another anyway, but yeah, man, definitely with the record, it's like, oh, it makes sense straight away.
And to touch on like the visual stuff as well, like everything, like I keep like looking at this book, like this cover of the Rock Sound book, and like even this photo, which was like a B photo that Beth took, is stunning. It's like so good. It could be a movie poster. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And like the fact it's like a cover of a book does it that justice. But yeah, man, like when we were filming Beyond Belief, Beth was taking these photos for the album and all the album visual things that you see. And she'd taken a photo, and she was like, I was downstairs and she was upstairs in the bedroom taking this photo. And she was like, Ash, you've got to come upstairs and see like the photos I've just taken, which I think ended up being like, you know, one of them is either the cover or it's like a poster for something. It might even be like this photo on the Rock Sound book. But I was like, Beth, this is unreal. Like it looks like a painting, you know, and that was sort of like, that was it then. I was like, yeah, I can see, you know, we then got a sense of like what the album was going to be, which is, you know, everything now that people are seeing. And, you know, like whether that's the videos for the songs, or like, you know, even the little loops on Spotify, or like the things that aren't the singles that were done, were done by Beth, you know. So she like, I feel really lucky that we had people that understood the vision for every like little part of the way. And it was really nice, man, that, you know, those people got it.
I think Sean said it the best, Sean Smith, like Beth and Scott are a power couple of creativity.
Yeah.
The visuals are insane. It's same with the live stream. Like it's your little attention to detail that makes this bigger picture just so smooth and so enjoyable. Do you think with The Greatest Mistake of My Life, the original Gracie Fields song, do you think that influenced the look of it all, having this vintage style to it without knowing, maybe a subliminal?
I'm not sure. I can't speak for like the whole band when I say this, but like I would say no. You know, we knew we were going to make a change. We knew we were going from the monochromatic, like black and white stuff, to color. We knew we were going to do that. It was just about, you know, how do we do it? Do we go, you know, do we want to be fellas in color but wearing black t-shirts with black jeans? Probably not. That's not very exciting.
A lot of people have done that.
Yeah, so we were like, well, we want it to be a bit classy, so we're going to do shirts and stuff. And we're like, I think when we were first talking about the record and like not necessarily the genre of the album, because I think it kind of ebbs and flows between genre, and we've always been that kind of band, but the style of the record was very like, we I don't know if it's like a term that's already existed or a term that, you know, we came up with or whatever, but, you know, like we started to call it like a new romantic record, but like new, like NU dash. So like it kind of had this, because it has, you know, the elements of like The Cure and bands like that, you know, but still has like almost like metalcore roots in songs like No More Roses and, you know, whether that's like kind of structures of songs or the heaviness of how we're playing them, you know. So yeah, I wouldn't say it was necessarily the Gracie Field song that kind of influenced the way that we went with the themes, but it yeah, as Lucas has said in interviews, you know, it definitely helped us get the understanding for this is album 2, and then kind of gave us a real big springboard and a jumping off platform as to where to sort of position ourselves with things like that, you know.
Speaking of visuals, then it's probably worth mentioning, obviously, the documentary that you guys released a couple of weeks back. The work between you and Charlie is incredible on that.
Oh, mate, thank you so much.
I think it nicely paints the picture as like a build up before the album was released, like showing that process and then the relationship you guys have got with Dan. Yeah. I think it was nice seeing how the process went and just the overall flow of how you guys worked together, even when James was still in the band, that you still had like different ways of expressing how you wanted something to sound. Like there was obviously the point where they mentioned that James couldn't really articulate a certain thing that he'd want to describe how he wanted it to sound.
Yeah, man.
I thought it was so relatable in some senses.
Yeah, man. That testament to Charlie, man. Like the fact that he like I wish there was a way I could like show you how much he had filmed for the documentary. Terabytes of footage, mate. There's so much, so much. He smashed it, and like his direction for the whole thing was great. So like essentially, the way that we worked that relationship when I was editing it was like I work for MOSHHH. I'm not like the band guy, like editing the documentary because I'm in the band, you know. It was nice. It was great, like working with him and having his direction and support in that, because I know that, you know, he had lots of other things come up as things, you know, with in terms of like lockdown and stuff, and work for him started to happen. It was like got really heavy for him, and we were like, you know, we want to put it out before the record. He was like, I don't think I can. I think we should do it after. And we were like, no. And that's when I was just sort of like, you know, let me come and do this for you. Let me take that off of you and sort of give you that hand, because I feel like it was hard because I didn't want to like be like, let me do it, just let me do it, you know, like, but also like I could see from an editor standpoint, I was like, I know exactly how this should go. I can see because, you know, Charlie had already done the intro sequence. He'd already done the part at the end where we were all talking about the record. He'd already done those 2 things. So it was literally just about sitting through, watching the interviews, being like, oh, this is a good part, talking about Scott talking about the record, or Scott talking about James's involvement, or Dan talking about Lucas, you know, all those little bits. It was just about those, just sitting through and like editing, you know, like something together, which I think, you know, was a little bit easier because I was a part of the process, so I knew the best parts to show and the best parts to like talk about, and because I fucking love band documentaries, mate. I watch them all the time. Like I feel like if you're in a band and you want to make music and like you don't watch band documentaries, you probably don't want to be in a band that much, because like the best part about being in like a band is watching other bands do funny shit and being like, oh, I'm just like them, you know, like watching Parkway like go and sleep on a boat somewhere because they have nowhere to sleep. I'm like, yeah, I want to do that. I'm fucking crazy. I'd love to do that, you know? So yeah, that's like that was almost like the entire reasoning behind why we did a documentary, was to not only to give people that look behind the album, but to also just give something to people that had obviously waited so long, something that we really wanted to do. So, you know, man, having like it's mad. Like of all the things we've done, that's like one of the biggest things I'm proud of, is having like an entire 30-minute documentary about something we've done. It's so good, mate. And just people can just go and watch it. And I'm like, God, there's going to be some band or some drummer, some musician somewhere that watches that one day, and it's going to be like, God, I want to fucking be as mad as the drummer for Holden Absence playing that Peter Andre song in Middle Farm. You know what I mean? Like,
I think that's the best bit of like from previous experience when I used to be taking my fucking Canon everywhere when we did like band stuff ages ago. I think that's the best bit of like you've got a time stamp on that experience. You've got footage of that experience that you had between working with that producer, looking fucking sunburned and having horrible blisters on your back whilst you're recording it and all the different stuff. You go, I remember that stuff, and it's nice to have that sort of memory of it.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, for sure. It was one of the, like editing it, I had to be like, I have to look at this completely objectively and not subjectively. This isn't something that I want to see. This isn't something that we as the band want to see. This is something that the fan, not even the fans, sorry, the people that like care about the band, the people that support the band and the people that care about the record, those people, like they will want to watch and go back and watch over and over and like really give them just something, special. And I think the same could be said for, all the pre-orders we did. We could have just done one really nice vinyl like we did with the first record, but we were fortunate enough to be able to be like, oh, well, Empiricon want to do a variant and HMV want to do a variant. And the box set was like something we'd wanted to do even for album one, so yeah, man, it's very like, just for anyone that's ever like wanted to support us, that's like, even though again, it's like, please pay us money for this thing that we can give you. But like, the best things, it's like, it's almost like pride in your work, when you like employ someone to, I don't know, fit in a nice kitchen for you, they're going to stand back after that day and be like, yeah, I smashed that kitchen. And they're not going to question getting paid. But yeah, for us, it's like, yeah, we've got a really good album. If you can buy it, that would be nice. But if not, you can download it for free and just listen to it that way.
Yeah. Scott summed it up perfectly in the listening party yesterday. It's nice to see how special it is for everyone else and like confirm how special it is for yourself and for Scott and Lucas and James and Dan. Yeah, man. Yeah,
it's really nice, mate. I think there was someone in our little group had said like our celebration song like really spoke to that. I'm gonna like paraphrase and I might get it wrong, but they said like our celebration song spoke to me and my anxiety and kind of cute. I just saw Lun's dog. Cute. Adorable. Oh, dang it. Oh, look at it. Oh, adorable,
every podcast
mate.
we get interrupted by
by a
adorable, mate. Love that.
It's the same last time we spoke to Milky and all of a sudden Matty's dog was just in the frame. I'm like,
he's having a sniff of your vinyl.
What? He's keen, mate. It's like, oh, this is a treat, man. This is a very good treat. This. I've been the best boy. Dad's gone out and bought me a vinyl.
Great chew toy.
Yeah, mate.
I will be gutted if I literally went out before. It was on the table. I was like, do you know what? Just in case, I'm just going to push it back slightly.
Just so far so we can't jump up and get it.
He probably still would. Like, he's raided the bin twice. I've nipped out twice, and the bin's just been like gone.
Nice.
Monster,
well, Matt,
mate.
if that would have happened, that would have been the greatest mistake of your life.
Oh my God!
How'd you kick someone from Zoom?
Brilliant, mate. God, the amount of interviews Lucas has been like, just loads of like people being like, oh, so tell me, man, what is the greatest mistake of your life? And it's like, oh God, we didn't have this trouble with the first record because it was just like it was the band name as a record title, but this time we've really put out the I don't know what the word is. What have we done? We've really hedged our bets and been like, here's something a bit more,
There's questions around the album, and then all of a sudden, like, so next record, just Holding Absence 3.
Yeah.
Don't give the press any power.
Or just the number 3. They go, why is it called 3? And we're like, because it's the third album, man.
Isn't that what Taylor Swift did? Like, it's 21. Why 21?
Genius,
right, okay.
Genius, mate.
That might be Adele actually, but I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, probably maybe. Yeah,
But,
brilliant, mate. Genius.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah, I'll never ask Lucas that question.
So what
just
was the
just message him after this. All right.
Yeah. We've just been talking to Ash.
Ash told me to ask you.
Yeah. God.
instantly blocked.
Yeah.
So, oh, go on.
I just want to tell Ash that going into, our local town today and picking up an album, I consider you a good friend, especially when we talk about coffee. And I'm like, mate, our mates have made a record. It's on a shelf in HMV. The record alone is sick. I have it stuck in my head already. Like that whole experience of going to the shop, seeing it there, it's so good. It's just amazing to see. I just want to
mate. Yeah, thank you, mate. Thank you.
I rated HMV for that fucking vinyl.
Can't you? But
mate, I don't. Obviously, when this goes out on the audio one, no one will be able to see what I'm about to show. But when I went on the Friday, I found it in the racks. As you do when you're flicking through a vinyl. I was like, oh, bloody banging! It's got the nice slipcase. We'd seen like a test of it, and I was like, oh, it's got the nice slipcase, and the title on the slip and everything. I was like, oh, that's really nice. That's really nice. And I was like, oh, but, the whatever the listening thing, and it was just in the racks, and I was like, oh, the CD is there. Oh, I've just gone a bit. Oh, I've gone.
No,
hello,
you're
back? You back?
Oh, I'm back.
Yeah.
Oh, where did you lose me?
So you saw it in the rack, essentially. Let's go from there.
Right, yeah. So I saw it in the rack, and I was like, oh, banging, amazing. Like slip when the title is on the slipcase and you pull it out and it's just a nice picture. And I was like, oh, but it's not on the recommended listening thing. And I was like, oh, the CD is though. The vinyl above us is that Greta Van Fleet record. So I literally took the vinyl over and I was like, pop bars. I'll pop bars in front of the Greta Van Fleet one and then put theirs below. And I was like, yeah, lovely. But in Cardiff, the fellas were like, oh, it's just banging, but also start raiding HMVs now in the big major cities. Like you see me on my own little tour, taking out all the vinyls of the bits and putting them on the shelves, the edge of the shelves. Yeah.
So you broke up a little then. What happened in Cardiff? If Cardiff got it right?
Oh yeah, sorry. So the so in HM, the fellas went to the HMV in Cardiff to get to buy a copy from there, and yeah, like the vinyl was on the very top shelf on the recommended listening, and yeah, just in Bristol, mate. They just had it a bit wrong, so I thought I'd do them a favour and just pop it on the top for them. And then 10 minutes after we went in, one of our friends went in to pick up the vinyl, so I was like, oh, cheers, but also no one's going to know about it now.
Right, boys, we have a mission round Wigan on Monday. Prioritize.
Yeah. Start a street team, and it's just go into the HMVs and reorganize the displays for all and then all the workers go, what are you doing, man? I'm just helping out the boys. Like,
so to all our listeners, go to your local HMV.
Mate, find the vinyl if it hasn't already been bought. And if it has been bought, thank you very much. But then put the vinyl in front of another vinyl.
I'll have a word with Paul at HMV Wigan and be like, you know what you need to do, mate.
We're going to prioritise you.
Oh, fantastic. Imagine it's just on the big poster just by the windows, just a big poster of like the album cover. And it's like, come and get it. And suddenly we've got a surplus and like a demand in Wigan. And our agents are calling us up like, I don't know what's going on, but thousands of people want to see you in Wigan. We've got back orders in HMV. We can't get enough CDs up there. And we're like, oh, it's bloody Matt Lunn it is. He's jonesed us.
Buy him a coffee.
Yeah.
I'll be like, thanks. Oh, no.
That's my payment. Caffeine.
Yeah.
Cold brew.
Yeah, a nice bag of the HA cold brew.
It's all about that. So it's worth noting, I don't know if you noticed, but obviously we have highlights from the last episode.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
I know where you're going.
This is just to get another clickbait title.
Yeah, just to piss everyone off and just to click on it. So the clip of us asking whether you're a vessel from Sleep Token is still our most popular video on our entire YouTube channel.
Hey, is it actually?
Ash, take a guess how many views?
Oh, I was about to have a look. I won't have a look.
Go on, let's turn it into a game.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
Can you tell me what the second Miller video has? You can say no. You can
Sorry,
say
you broke up slightly. Can I tell you
the second most popular video.
Oh yeah, I can. Sort by
Oh
most
yeah.
viewed. Oh, what a shock! You're at the top. Okay, so our second most viewed is an interview with Jeff Buckley's bassist. We got
Oh, nice.
896 views,
Oof.
which
Bloody
I
hell.
didn't know. Fucking hell, boys.
That's good, mate. That's probably good.
So let's go.
Couple of pennies off there from the monetization of that as well. Make that money, boys.
Let's go.
I'll really shoot for it. Is it like exponent? Actually, no, I won't ask because if I ask, then
Yeah,
I'll
I
give it
can't
away.
tell you.
I'll say it's got 1,200 views, 1,200 views.
All right.
Okay.
Ash, it's 5,666 views.
That's mental, mate. Oh my god, that's so funny. That's so good,
Bro.
Just so I can put this as a clickbait title. Are you
So I can
sure
use it.
you're not Vessel from Sleep Token?
Just a big confirmed. And then if you Photoshop a picture of me with the Sleep Token logo on and be like, he is the vocalist from Sleep Token, mate.
Confirmed. Yeah.
Brilliant.
We've become
Yeah.
Reddit though, because on the comment section is just a debate of who it actually is.
Mate,
What a weird world, man.
there was one of my friends sent me an article. I can't remember what. Thankfully, I can't remember what it's called. But like someone somewhere has like figured out like who it is, and like there's like an article about it now. So it's like absolutely set in stone. People like someone knows who it is, or sorry, someone knows who they are. And it's just like I'm just a bit like, well, you know, some people don't want to know. You know, some people are like happy in the fact that it's like in, you know, the 21st century, in the age of information, it's just nice not to know something. You know, it's nice to not know who everyone in Sleep Token is, because you can kind of be like, I don't. And again, I was the same friend I was talking to today, like, I was kind of like, it must be so nice because like they don't have to really share anything on all their socials. There's no pressure to be like the person in the band. There's absolutely no ego. They can just kind of be like, yeah. And then when someone asks, oh, what have you been up to? Gigging, a couple of gigs, couple of shows. Like, oh, in a band, are you? Yeah, a couple of pubs. Like, not that big, really, not a big deal. But then behind the scenes, it's like, I just got to put my entire torso, paint my entire torso black and put my mask on, and then go and play to thousands of people in London. But like, you know, they can't talk about that.
Like I said, it's crazy how they can keep that under wraps though, like you said, in like the age of information.
Yeah.
I mean, like, especially when you're touring and you're out and about, like in that city or even backstage or just like sound checking, like, you know what I mean? There's always someone knocking around, especially when there's that much like mysteria like built up around it. It's like, how is someone just not leaked it already? But I think you sent that link, Matt, didn't you, in the chat?
Yeah, so just to give reference of what the website is called.
We're not saying
sausageroll.com.
We'll bleep that.
Yeah.
Clearly a reputable source. You know?
I know, I was gonna say, yeah.
Your what's the word? Your reputable news source, sausageroll.com.
Use that as a legit link. Like, it is confirmed from sausageroll.com.
Yeah, in some poor bugger's essay, it's just Harvard referenced. Roll,
APA,
comma, S.
We've derailed here, boys.
Yeah, we have. We've gone off onto sausageroll.com.
It was worth it just for a clickbait title, just to piss people off.
So good, mate. Other comments on that video, like, oh, I knew it wasn't him.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's like, oh, it's not Ash. It's actually this person. And the dude that wrote in Reddit claiming it was yourself actually commented and apologized to you. Meaning,
I've not seen that, mate.
That's crazy. You.
Oh, what a legend!
Yeah, seems like a cool dude.
Oh, mate, I'm gonna I'll fire that up on the old when we've done recording. I'll fire it up on my old phone and just say thanks, mate. I actually loved it because I was just playing up to it the whole time. But yeah, it's me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I still
absolutely.
believe it is you.
I am him. I am he.
It's not Rob Damiani or the guy from Bastille.
No, yeah, mate, that's so good. It's so good that like when people were like, "Oh, it's got to be him. It's got to be that fella from Bastille," and it's like, well, you think the fella from Bastille is going to open a show for us? You think he needs Sleep Token so much that he wants to open a show for Hold an Absence and Loathe? Like, yeah.
He just really wanted to degent. He just really
Yeah.
wanted to have a fat breakdown.
Yeah. Just fancied his pop back at the old toilet circuit again. Fancied a go like
Taking a break from Radio 1.
really get back in touch with his roots at the seven string gent metal. Yeah.
So going back to the album, Ash, what is your favourite song to play? What is your most favourite song you're looking forward to playing live, should I say?
Hard to say for live because like, you know, I think I really like playing Beyond Belief. But when we played it for the K pit, the Kerrang pit we did, I actually preferred playing Afterlife more. But I like playing Beyond Belief in practice more because it's not necessarily like there's not as much to think about. There's not as much to go wrong, so to speak, when I'm playing it. I think if we end up playing Die Alone and that's like an option, I really like playing Die Alone at the moment. I think I'd really like playing it live as well. I think it really it's the most vibe for me, you know, to play. It's very like, it's got lots of roots in like the Hold an Absence stuff that I liked before, you know, in the first album and all that stuff. I really hope No More Roses doesn't pop off because there are really like hard parts in there that I really have to like concentrate on. But it is good to play. Like they're like some of the not like cooler drum parts to play. Yeah, man. I think, man, it's a discussion we've had. Like, you know, we've never been the band that's like, and at this you know, in 2021 everyone's heard it, everyone knows that, you know, it's our best material yet, you know, from a band. But we've been talking, man, and we're just like, honestly, like, do we play any old stuff, you know, when we start touring the album? We'll probably have to do it on headline shows, but, you know, like support shows, it's like, well, the new album is like, we love playing it so much that it's like, it kind of ticks all the boxes that all the old stuff we'd kind of merged together to play. You know, playing, for example, Celebration Song into Curse Me, into No More Roses is immediately just like 3 songs that are like, look at us. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're, you know, as a support band, like those 3 songs already in my head, I'm like, God bloody hell, being Hold an Absence and playing those three songs in a set list already before you've even like considered In Circles, Afterlife and Beyond Belief and Morning Song, you know what I mean? And Drugs and Love. Like, it's like we could play them all and be like, yeah, that was a good set, like with all those songs. Maybe we'll put Stick Like a Shadow in every now and then. I feel like, you know, if we were to do a full album run through, leaving Afterlife to the end, putting Like a Shadow there would be like a cool set, be like a nice way to do it. But yeah, man, I just want to, I don't know, I just want to do it all. I just want to play the whole album front to back.
I mean, it's not. Go on.
I was just saying, at least you're in that position where you're like, all these are fire. Where do we go? You know, rather than being like Crazy Town and being like, are we playing Butterfly?
Yeah.
Don't worry. Sorry, Shifty, if you're listening.
I was going to say, it's not unheard of though for to do their entire set, just the new album. Like, I mean, I remember where I went watching Ben Howard, but not on the most recent run, obviously, because that's only just come out, but the one before. Yeah. And he literally, no joke, just did the entire album. And then from like the previous album before then. And he did get some like shit from the crowd, which I thought was, well, why are you fucking watching someone if like not interested in listening to obviously his progression as an artist, but at the same time, like, fair play to him. Like, to stick to it, like, this is where I am now.
Yeah, I think
it's like you would have placed from like when you're like 15, when you're like 21 or something like that.
Yeah, man. A really good example of that, I think, is 100th. like 100%, you know, they used to be a fucking heavy ass, like metalcore, post-hardcore band. You know, they had riffs and were hard. Like you wanted to mosh and throw people into the ceiling when you heard 100th, like on the Break Free cycle. But then they put out their shoegaze record, and it was kind of like, well, obviously we're not going to play Break Free. Like we are not going to play dun 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 dun, because we're playing shoegaze, man. Like we're actually playing songs now, not like parts of songs that, like, you know, songs with all these cool parts. So like, yeah, man, I think on the, you know, it's probably similar to Ben Howard, dude. Like when bands like make that progression, I think that's like, it's great that there's like there's a definite like balance, you know, to strike, where it's like enough of fan service and enough of like satisfying yourself as the artist and the musician. You know, there's definitely like a real fine like art to that. And I guess like, man, having like what 30 songs now in our fucking back catalog, we've now got to play that horrible game of, well, I hope everyone enjoys the set because we can't play them all. Like, you know what I mean? It's so weird to have that. Obviously, for the first like 2 or 3 years, we played the same 6 songs at every show. Like it's mental.
Yeah.
Like mad, mate, mad.
But I think you can also make like those individual shows special, because it's like, here's the one from the old album that we don't usually play in our set now and stuff like that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, maybe throwing in, you know, like we never really played like You Are Everything. We've never played Gravity and Birdcage to a crowd, you know. So like being able to throw those in for a couple special, you know, like I guess it becomes more of like, if we were to say, oh, if these shows sell out, we'll play like a song, an old song. And like, I'd love to be able to be like, okay, we'll also learn, you know, in practice, we'll learn these 4 songs because these are the 4 people really like, you know, like Gravity, Birdcage, Like a Shadow, for example. I don't know what else is like, I don't know what else is decent, really. Wilt, you know, say Wilt, for example, which, you know, is a stupid song to play, but you allocate those like slots to those shows, and you put out some like I don't know, like an Instagram thing or whatever, and just say, you know, we've got, you know, this show is sold out and we've got a space for a song. Pick what song you want.
Yeah, what do you want to hear? 1, 2, 3, or 4.
Yeah, which song do you want to hear tonight? And we can just dip it in. You know, we've already got the show we've got the show like ready, we've got the songs practiced. So like, yeah, man, I think it's like and that's like something I've always kind of wanted to do and hope that we'll do at some point at some shows in the future. But yeah, just have to wait and see, mate. Just have to sell out a couple shows first, innit?
That's definitely going to happen. I know that after
100%.
listening to that record.
100%.
I hope so, mate.
Going back to the record, recording of drums. First of all, I know I've said it to you when you've gone on like lives and stuff.
Yeah.
Your poor drums. What on earth have they done to you, man, for you to hit them so hard? Jesus.
Existential crises, mate, where I'm like, oh god, this could be the last time I'm going to play drums. Have a bit of fun. You know,
that snare's not going to worry that I didn't hit it hard enough.
Yeah, it's going to be in the case afterwards, like, oh god, like, yeah.
Still shaking.
Shock, like, Jesus. Whiplash claiming for the
like...
toms. But you recorded the kit and the cymbals separately.
Yeah.
Was that for every single track?
Every single track other than Apology Note. With Apology Note, we had like a well, it wasn't even necessarily like a real kit. It was just like kick, ride, snare, and hi-hats and a little effects cymbal. But yeah, man, that was all Dan's like sort of doing. He was like, I think we should do this. I think it would complement. He said to me, sorry, he was like, I think it would complement your playing style. We have, you know, you then have greater control in the edit, in the post. You know, you can, if you want to push the high in the drums, you're not getting anything in the sort of mid-high frequencies that are going to get dirty from cymbals because they're in the mics. I think the first time we did it, the first song, the first couple like bits, it was like sitting in because, you know, I'd never done that before.
Yeah.
And I was a bit like, oh, this is weird. But then once we had done one song and we did all the drums like in one go, and then we did all the cymbals afterwards. and I was like, yeah, this is fine. But a celebration song, for example, blah, 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 blah. It was just doing those parts, you know, like I was like, just hearing them in the control room without cymbals. I was like, this is weird. This is so weird. But the second I was like, I keep saying I've got an unstable connection.
You coming through
We
fine,
good?
don't worry.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
You're still good.
Okay. You know, the second I like started laying into cymbals and I went back into the room and listened to that, I was like, holy shit. Because like, you know, when you're playing, you're obviously like kind of dividing up your energy, you know, playing drums, you're like, you've got to think, well, I've got to hit the snare hard enough, but I'm also moving this right hand trying to keep time. So like, as much as I want to like rag it with my left hand, I can only rag it so much because I'm also up here, and like your mind is kind of like operating in different sort of. It'd be really interesting to like know how your brain is firing when you're doing those things, but being able to just concentrate and be like, right, stomp the kick and leather the snare drum. That's all I've got to do, or occasionally toms, and it's like 100% is in the drums, and then to be like, now I get to put 100% into the cymbals. It's like you've got 200% drummer in the drum tracking. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's a really weird way to like think about it. But I remember Dan saying like, you know, you've got 100% energy in the drums, 100% energy in the cymbals. You have total control and concentration in every like dynamic fluid hit that like, you know, in songs like Die Alone or In Circles where there are a little slightly more delicate parts, you have that control, you know?
Like, there's definitely, especially with the mix, I don't know whether, because I know you didn't record cymbals with drums, that I'm
Yeah.
or the mix is coming through where I'm like, it's like crystal clear.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't imagine how you feel like, because dynamically the mix is unreal, which isn't a surprise. But when I think of like hitting crashes and, you know, like riding on a crash for a chorus, I just think about that wash that you automatically get when playing.
Yeah.
But that's going to feel so alien for you, of just like, there's just cymbals here and you've got to kind of wash them, you know. That might not make sense to anyone else, but, you know.
Yeah, no, it was, it's almost like, imagine you're on a bike and like, you can or I guess it's almost like, yeah, it'd be like the first part of it. It's almost like being on a bike and you can only pedal, but you're pedaling in a straight line and you can't wobble. You can't like fall off the bike, but you just don't have to steer. Like all you've got to do is pedal. It would be so weird to do that. But then after a certain amount of time, after an hour of pedaling, you can finally put your hands on the handlebars, but then you don't have to pedal anymore. And you can just turn and brake and you know, do like kind of split it that way. It's so like, yeah, such a, or like running and not moving your entire upper body and then only moving your upper body because your legs are just moving by themselves, you know, like it's such a, yeah, it's a really like, that's the best sort of analogy I can come up with off the top of my head. But yeah, it was great, man. It was so weird. Like, there were like points where like I'd be tracking and Dan would be in the live room, he'd be looking at me and he'd be like, okay, ready? You gotta don't play a cymbal. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, stop. 1, 2, 3, and I'd be like, because there was a flam snare or like I'd done something in the drum tracking that I was like getting way into it, and I was like, oh, let's crash here, and let's crash here, and this, you know, and he'd be like, no, wait, there's a flam coming, wait, and stop, okay, go again, and like little bits like that where like I remember him being like having to kind of like almost coax me through, and then now having to relearn all those parts. That's and like it, playing them, mate, is like another. So if anyone is going to cover these songs, I'm like, fair. I hadn't played these songs for a year, and it took me ages to learn how to replay these songs. So like, fair play for anyone that like is gonna, because like, not to say because the parts aren't necessarily like hard, but you know, like some of it is like, I'm like, yeah, it's solid. So straight up playing it is like, yeah, fair. You know.
So were you, because I know like when learning drum fills and it's got like a rest in the middle or something, I would always fake the, you know, the hit and be like, da, 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 da. Mm-hmm. Were you faking your crashes as you were playing on just the kit and stuff, and the same the other way around?
Yeah.
Just to keep that feel.
Yeah. In the documentary, we're lots of my like tracking footage is like of me tracking Celebration Song, and you can kind of see me like going, and like my right hand is just doing this just next to me. So I'm kind of moving my hand just to be like, because just sitting there going duh, blah, blah, really unnatural. Yeah, as a drummer, like when you've learned to do this for like 15 years, going blah, blah is like really weird. So yeah, like talking about like making the move in song. So like Beyond Belief has a really weird feel where it's like right hand on the snare, left hand on the rack, right hand on the hi-hat, left hand on the snare. But this is like a so it's like it's a really quick fill. But that left hand on that like on the off there, the right hand side, like trying to do that the whole time. Yeah, like the whole time it was like like it was so weird to like try and track some of those faster parts that are like more groovy, you know. It was so weird. There's like a bit of footage on the cutting room floor of the dock where like I've got like, oh wait, I actually have a stick here. So sorry for everyone that can't see, but like I'm like playing, and where like the cymbal is here, I'm like pushing the like pillow on the cymbal. So I go like, yeah, it's really weird. Like it's so weird to look at as like a musician. It almost like playing guitar, right? If you were just strumming and someone else was doing the notes, you know, or like you were doing like one string at a time, and you're like, okay, do the riff, but just do it on this string, and then you're like, okay, banging, and then now go down the string, but do the same, you know, like trying to play power chords from a guitar, but like on
it's
each
like
individual
strumming,
string.
but not doing the chord.
Yeah,
mate. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, just imagine it. It was an experience, and I'm like, I feel like, you know, in anything like that, you know, this is the part in the podcast where we go into the self-betterment stuff now. We're taking a hard left turn, you know. You only get better by learning. You don't get better at something by not doing it, you know. So like, yeah, I feel like because I've now done that, it's like, oh, sick. Next time I go to record something, you know, the next album or single, if a producer is like, can we do it drums and then cymbals separately? Yeah, do it in an hour, mate. Easy. You know what I mean? Like, so it's
like,
yes.
You resent is it No More Roses for gonna be wanting to be played live, and then when you learn it, you're like, actually, I'm so much better now because I learned those difficult bits.
Yeah, mate. Like the hi-hat bit at the end, boom, boom, blah 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 blah. You know, jokes. I was like, we got to the end of tracking, and Dan was like, yeah, great, that's fantastic. I was like, no, that hi-hat bit, it's not mad enough. It's just boom, boom, blah, 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 boom, 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 blah, 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 boom. I was like, no. Let's go a little bit more psycho on it. Boom, boom, blah, 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 blah. You know, I was just so mad for it, mate. I was like, yes. And now I'm doing it. I'm like, why? Why did 26-year-old me want this? I didn't want this. You know?
Speaking of self-betterment, and obviously you used running as an example before. You've been running like a boss recently.
Yeah, mate.
How's it all going? Because obviously you mentioned that you were working with your PT, getting yourself more fit and stuff like that. How's that process going a year down the line?
Oh, great, man. Like, I don't think I don't see it as like there's an end point. I just see like it as more of like a with running now, not so much. I've definitely like fallen off that wagon for a little while. I feel like I have like bouts of it where I'm like, I'll do 5 miles today, or I'm like, I'll do 3 miles today. Or the other day, stupidly, I went out with James and we did 10 miles, and I'm like,
talking about that. Jesus.
Yeah, stupid, mate, stupid.
You and James are like lethal on my Instagram, so I'm like, I think I'm doing all right, and then looking Instagram stories, I'm like, I'm not doing enough in life.
Oh, mate, no. Nah, honestly, mate, there's something wrong with me and James. Don't ever look at us and think that's an example to follow. It's not. It's just, that's like, yeah, silly, mate, silly.
Do you egg each other on, or is it literally just you go,
mate,
yeah, go on, we can do this.
Yeah, we'll do another mile now. Come on, boy. That's like yeah, with James, it's always that, mate. It's like, oh, go on, should we do that? Should we do an annoying thing? But yeah, the running thing was like, it's been great. I think like fitness as a whole is like, I know something is something that people yo-yo in and out of like a lot, and it's, it's, I feel fortunate that like I understand now that like making it habitual as opposed to like what's the word, like occasional, like instead of occasionally going for like an hour and a half and doing that for like 2 weeks and then exhausting myself and being like, God, I've been going an hour and a half every day for 5 days a week, and like I'm just not doing it. I must not be doing something because I'm not seeing the results. Instead I'm like, right, I'll go for 45 minutes and I'll go 4 days a week. And even though I'm only going for 45 minutes a day, 45 minutes of time, and I'm going 1 day a week less, in 6 months' time, because I've done it for 6 months as opposed to 2 weeks, I'm still getting in more time. And obviously, it's kind of like a universal thing that with stuff like that, it's very, it does take time. The results do take a lot of time. So it's less about what you see in the, I think it's such a weird polarizing thing now. We live in such an age of like immediate like graph. I could post something on like a social media, get a couple tens of likes, 50 likes on something, and I'm like, bang, and I feel great. 50 people like this thing of mine. Whereas like being like, okay, do you want to put in hard work for a year and maybe see some results on something and kind of tweak and adjust things like food that you eat every day, and like, not eating a certain thing. Oh, actually, no, scrub that, ignore that. Don't cut certain foods out of your diet. If you do, I'll fucking find you and I'll smash your head in. Don't cut foods out of your diet. All right, eat pasta and eat sweets. Do that. All right, don't cut out food.
Never have told me that, Ash.
Mate, no, please, for the love of God, don't ever cut food out of your diet. Because like before this, I ate a massive biscuit, mate. So like, it's fine. It's exactly, mate. It's okay to, and again, like, restricting yourself for something, you're only going to want it more at another time. That's why it's called cold turkey. No one wants to eat cold turkey. No one wants to give something up so much that they are like, oh, I really want it. That's how like the brain works. You've got to like reverse engineer that habit and slowly take yourself off of it. And if that's, something that you want to do. So like, yeah, man, if whether that's like sugary foods, you can substitute that and sort of curb that craving and the want for that. But you've also got to like, understand your body enough that if you do something for a long time and it becomes habit, like eating sweets or biscuits or like sugary drinks, you're not just going to be able to one day have that motivation to be like, I want to stop doing this, and the next day it's also not going to be there. Motivation is like fleeting. It comes up and it comes in like drabs. It's about like being committed to the change enough to see past the motivation and like carry something on.
I've guilty of that, of like egging each other on, like, I've downed this water today, Lun. Where are you up to? And he's like, I got my lemon water here. We're doing all right.
Nice, mate.
I'm sorry to do this. I feel so guilty for it. Speaking about getting to a point in a podcast, am I all right nipping the toilet, boys?
Should we? Should we have a little break? I could do with a drink.
I have finished this as water. Calling you out, mate.
Yeah, so like going back, I'm guessing we'll start from there. Going back to when we was talking about like motivation and like staying healthy and that. So I've just started with a PT myself, and I've got to the point where I'm having to basically cut a habit out where it's like, so for me it is like eating crap and like sort of like snacking. That's the main thing. So in between meals, and obviously it set me a meal plan out along with like my fitness plan.
Nice.
And it's one of those where obviously the food that I'm eating now is so filling that I don't even feel like I want to go snack. So when it comes to like a Sunday, obviously that'll be like my cheat day, and then I can just treat myself then. But as well as that, it's like drinking more water and just keeping myself motivated, because I know he said to me, it's like the first 2 weeks are crucial, because after the 2 weeks usually people start dropping off.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? You get motivated at first, you start dropping off. But to me, obviously, I've been doing all like my workouts from home, and I had a call with him last night. I was like, obviously if I start the gym soon, then at least that'll open up something new to me where I can carry on this work that I've been doing. And I've even been going on runs with like Lun. So if you asked me a year ago, are you coming on a run? I'd be like, fuck off, mate. Like, I don't run. I don't run. And now I managed 3K, which I didn't think I'd be able to do in like my first run with him. So it's crazy. So it's just keeping myself motivated.
Yeah, 3.2 today. He's smashing it.
Yeah,
hey, big congrats, mate. Big congrats. That's massive, mate. That's so good. Like, it sounds obviously like it probably sounds a bit like you're like, oh yeah, you know, only it was a little 3K, but man, like that's so good. You know what I mean? Like the fact last year, you know, in the grand scheme, 12 months is what, nothing really. 12 months is nothing, and the fact in 12 months you've now, you know, just to recount, you've got a PT, you've changed your the way that you eat, like your nutrition that's coming in, and you're going for runs. Man, that's massive. That's like three humongous changes that are all like for you, that are like better for you. And even though, you know, again, it's that thing of like, no one wants to work out. No one wants to go for a run. No one wants to stop eating like nice snacky things like crisps and stuff. So like that work alone is enough to be like, yeah, mate, congrats. Like that's so big. So like, don't think that it's not a big, don't try and like underplay yourself, because it's so good, mate. Like, good job.
Cheers, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, I didn't think I'd be able to get through that 3K run, but we got towards the end and we made it. Yeah,
it's that feeling after it, like, so because of Chiz, he's always on his bike.
Yeah, mate.
And all of a sudden, me and Matty went on like a 30K bike ride last week.
Huge, mate.
Which, considering I stopped running after, you know, the fad of running during lockdown, I was like, I'm not enjoying it. That bike ride fucked me up. But if you ask me now, like, do you want to go on another? I'd be like, let's do it.
Yeah, mate.
It's, you know, seeing shit like Chiz on his bike all the time, you doing fucking ridiculous mile runs, and being
please,
like,
mate.
Yeah, let's move a bit more.
God, mate, please, again, don't take any inspiration from
nothing from you or James.
Yeah,
that was what was egging me on when I've like gone like, oh, I've not spun today, and I see Ash has done something. I'm like, fuck,
let's go.
I'll spin, and then I've started running with Matty again. I'm like, I've got to run as high now, so I'm gonna start running more.
Motivation, that's all it is.
Honestly, mate, when me and James were on that run, I had a practice. The reason I was in Cardiff is because I was practicing as well, and we had a practice booked from like 2 in the afternoon till 10 in the evening to like go through the album songs. And like James was just like, mate, imagine this now, right? You just run 10 miles, you're in Music Box eating your breakfast, and you're practicing for 8 hours. Imagine someone seeing that and being like, oh my God, I can't believe he's just run for 2 hours and now he's playing drums for 8. I was like, yeah. But then I got into bed after that night, and my knees were just like snapping, mate. It was unreal. Like clicking pens, mate. It was horrible. Yeah. It's unreal, mate. So yeah. Not advised. Don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah, mate. Good job, everyone. I feel like, hey, I'll drink to that. Everyone doing things for not their present self, but their future self.
I can't reach or spill it.
That's mate. Good job, fellas. Proud of you all.
Way of putting it.
Yeah.
I feel like we've progressed from last time that we spoke. I feel like this is a nice 1 year after we've
mate,
progressed from where we are. This is good.
Yeah. It's not as big and not as iconic as Billie Eilish doing the same interview every year. But it
will be.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah, this is only part 2 of what?
Life.
10-part series.
Yeah, man.
God, yeah, keen, mate. Keen. And then if it'll just sort of end up being like every couple, like whenever we do them every year, it'll just be more and more of us just hanging out, being like, all right. And I'm like, yeah. That's all it'll be.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
That's what it'll be when we're finally allowed to all meet up. Be like, do you want to go for a coffee? All right, if you want.
Hey,
you know,
that'd be nice. The first Earful podcast on location in a nice coffee shop in Wigan. Fantastic,
in Wigan. Yeah, well.
After rearranging HMV's marketing campaign.
Oh, man.
It's brew time.
That's it, mate. Oh, keen, mate. Keen.
Speaking of you being a busy boy, I feel like we need to discuss gutter.
Oh yeah, mate.
for
Yeah,
sure.
let's. Hey,
Oh, I believe we heard a snippet of that when we was not recording last time,
post call, mate. Yeah,
post call,
yeah.
and I'm going to say the word slaps, so then might have to do more editing. But yeah, man, sounds sick. It is
Thanks,
cool
mate.
as fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah,
how's
it
it
was,
feeling having that out? And
it's nice, man. It's a completely different it's a completely different thing to HA, of course.
Yeah.
Like the dynamic within the band is completely different. Like in HA, I don't really have a lot of like I'm not a songwriter. Like I don't understand melody the way Scott and Lucas and now Ben like understand melody. Like I really don't understand music as like the what's the word? I don't understand music at its like core like foundation and the fundamentals of music.
Internal
Like
cogs.
yeah, like for me, music has always been like do what you want to do and express yourself the way you want to express yourself. So like for me, it's like I like being loud, I like being weird, I like being crazy, I like living kind of fast, but also kind of slow, but like just like hard drums and crazy soundscapes in it all, you know. So like I'm really fortunate and enough to be in the band with, you know, Jonesy, Rob, Jono and Nathan, and they let me really like rip on like in Logic, and I'm like, right, like thousands of effects plugins here, distortion and comping and reverb and micro phases and all these weird things that like I'm just doing because I'm like, I don't understand really fundamentally how they work and sort of what they're doing at the core plugin. But I'm like, can I make something weird with this? Can I make something cool with this? Yeah. You know, it's a real like a passion thing for me, really, you know. And I've toured with the guys, you know. I toured with Cutting Teeth when Rob played guitar with them and when Adam played guitar. And me and Adam have been like friends for years, dude. Like me and Adam and Jonesy, we go back before I was in HA, you know. We knew each other and like I was a photographer. He did reviews for like a press outlet thing when we were in uni together. Or he was in uni, sorry, and I was in uni. He was in uni at Leeds, and I was in uni in Nottingham. And yeah, we like sort of linked up through that, kept in touch over the years. I joined HA, and he was like a real like good friend throughout that whole thing, and really like spurred me through lots of stuff, and was always there like backing it. And then yeah, when he was like, I'm starting a band, mate, I was like, oh, sick. He was like, yeah, it's called Cutting Teeth. I was like, hard. He was like, yeah, it's going to be like kind of heavy, like Every Time I Die, but a bit like metalcore. I was like, oh yeah, sick, mate. And then yeah, when that sort of inevitably came to the end, that's when he started sending me guitar riffs last year, and I was like, I want something heavy to play over, you know, like we just finished the album. So I was like, I was really biting to like do more stuff, you know. It was like we planned to tour, so it's almost like I had this thing in me to be like, I want to go and play drums now to these things, but couldn't. And it was like, yeah, I was obviously like fucking pissed off because we'd lost all these, you know, tour things that were supposed to be happening and weren't playing live. So yeah, Jonesy sent me guitar stuff for the songs that are now buried. Buried. Oh no, wait, no, it's not buried. It used to be called Buried. I think now it's called Gossiping Under the Tree, Entertaining Reality, and Perfect Alignment. And I was like, sick, mate, banging. Right, let's write some songs. We did, and I just fucking chucked all the synths and stuff on it, and you know, we just been having a blast with it, mate. Just been having a good time, making jokes, just hanging out, mate. It's been great. Yeah, man. It's been really nice. It's weird though, because like I don't know what I'm doing, and like I mixed the last song, and I'm like, you sure? I don't know what I'm doing. Like, you know, it's weird, man. It's weird, but it's cool. It's really, you know, yeah, it's fulfilling. It's really nice. Yeah.
It's a crazy collision of worlds because I mean, we had James from Cutting Teeth on like really early on.
Yeah, man.
And they were like, "Oh, we'll stay in touch with you." And then they played the show with Raiders, and then we were like, "Okay, cool." And then split, which sucked. And then we spoke to you, Boyo, and then you got a
And then we
band
were like,
called
"Are
Gutter.
you seeing Nath and Ash together?" I was like, "Yeah, we are." What's
Yeah.
I
going on there?
recognise that guy.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, it's really nice. It's been really cool, man. It's been like, yeah, just cause I think Jonesy was saying, the cutting teeth thing happened like really amicably, and they're like, oh, we don't really want to do this anymore. They'd sort of reached the ends of it, really. Done all they wanted to do, and yeah, it just sort of like, honestly, it was just like, when me and Jones were talking about starting the band, I was like, oh, I'd be creasing if we could get Rob from, who did the tour. I was like, he's creasing, mate. He just loves throwing cymbals around. I love throwing cymbals around. Come on, like, it's a match made in heaven. It's perfect. We've got to get him in. And then he was like, oh, what about like bassist? I was like, well, obviously Nath, because Nath loves to start a scrap, and that's all we need in a bassist is someone who can play bass and loves to start a scrap. He fits that perfectly. And then Jono was just like kind of just, yeah, him and Jonesy have been friends for ages. And he was like, yeah, Jono wants to do it. I was like, sick. I trust the both of you. So yeah, of course we're going to get Johnny to do it. And it's just been magic, mate. Yeah, it's been great. Such good fun. I think that's like the one thing I will absolutely say is like, it's been like so much fun. Like, and that's what I ever really, HA is like this larger than all of us kind of entity that is sort of, we have vinyl box sets, but Gutter is like, let's just print 25 t-shirts, pay for them ourselves. And, if they sell out, great. But fundamentally, all we want to do is go and play some really small shows and just like have, because some of my favorite memories of HA are playing pubs, that we booked ourselves in like 2016 to like 4 people, and leaving afterwards, being in the van, being like, mate, remember when you threw that chair at someone like in the show because they were fucking on their phone, and you were like, "Hi, what's the bands, man?" Like, we just want to like, they're like some of the things that like I'll never forget about the band. And I'm like, fucking hell, how are we now this band when we used to be the weird crusty band, like, playing to like 4 people and fucking screaming at people in pubs, like, you know what I mean?
I'd fucking love to get Nath on purely because of I want to discuss his undying love for Carly Rae Jepsen, because I remember my missus and Matty's missus went watching Carly Rae Jepsen. Me and you went for food or whatever, and then I saw on my Instagram story afterwards like Nath was there, and I was like, "The fuck are you doing,
mate?" He loves. I think I'm pretty like. I know he'll listen to this, so I really hope I don't get this wrong. But I'm pretty sure he bought like a VIP to like meet Carly Rae as well. Like,
this is what I saw. I was like, no.
Yeah, mate. He's like, he's like, he loves it, and like, power to him, mate. You love what you love. And yeah, Nath just loves Carly Rae Jepsen. But because you said that, he will hit you up about this now, and he's going to be like, yeah, man, I'll message him now and just be like, all right, man, the fellas want to have you on an Earful. Will you? I know he'll say yes, but I'll be like, do you want to do it? Aye. In fact, I'll voice note him now so that because I don't want to type and no one can hear me.
This is going to be like,
hiya, Nath boy. I'm just on with an Earful now. I'm on with Matt P, Matty A, and Matt Lunn, and they've all said, I want to get Nath on the podcast to discuss how much he loves Carly Rae Jepsen. So you in? Do you want to do it? I'll set the date. Let me know, mate. Love you. Bye. There you go, mate. Brilliant, mate. He's coming on.
Job for us.
Booking you some people like, hey, anyone else you want? I'll message some people now.
An email.
Mate.
Nice.
I don't think we'd have the balls to suggest Dan Weller. No.
Mate, Dan. I don't know if Dan would even. We were. I don't know if he'll like me talking about this, but we were like, oh, Dan, would you ever do like a what are they called? Like how I like produce this thing. It was like, nah, it's not my thing.
I think
that's it.
Last time,
yeah, it's not his thing. And I was like, oh, that's weird, man, because obviously like he does so much,
dude.
So you think
magic? He makes magic.
Dude. Yeah. I think his like almost 50% of what he does is him just saying that's classic. That's a classic. That's magic. Like him just saying that enough will make you believe that like what you've done is like classical and like magic. And it is literally just like, I remember he'd be like, mate, that drum fill was so classic. Like, and I was just like, mate, it was just like a you know, and he'd be like, yeah, love that. And I'd be like, oh yeah, actually, yeah, you're right. Yeah, that is classic. Oh, I'm really fucking Mozart, I am. You know?
It was very nice to see him on the live stream having a beer with you boys, and
Yeah, mate. That was the
record.
That was the first time we'd like chatted and like seen him since Middle Farm. You know, like we hadn't like called him or chatted with him since, you know, we left on the 14th of March last year. Yeah, so that was nice, man. Really nice, yeah. Yeah,
so
really nice.
Let's get back to the greatest mistake of my life, because I feel like we've not even covered it, and we're like almost 2 hours in,
God, sorry.
which is like normal for us.
Sorry, everyone.
I'm not. No editing as well, Matty. No editing. Make people sit through this. Like, did you? Obviously, you previously worked with Dan. Was that decided like, right, we're going to do the record with Dan? What space do we go to? Or was it always like, let's go to Middle Farm because it's fucking Middle Farm, you know?
I couldn't, honestly, man. I couldn't tell you what like the process there was. Like, not that I wasn't privy to it, but we ended up doing like quite a lot in that sort of time period. You know, when we did. So the best way I can kind of describe it is we'd obviously done Like a Shadow with Dan in his studio in London. He came up to Cardiff a couple of months later, and we did Monochrome with him in Cardiff in James's flat. We then did, after the album came out, the guys wrote Gravity, and I think they wrote a bit of Birdcage as well, but also wrote Afterlife and Drugs and Love in, you know, May after the album. We were then like, right, we're going to record Gravity and Birdcage. Dan came down, kind of like we were co-writing with him a bit more in the practice room. He was getting the vibe of the songs a bit more, and we were like playing through the songs and going over the parts. And he was like, yeah, this, maybe less of this. So it was almost like producing in the room with us at the time, which we'd never done before. We hadn't done that with songs, which was really nice. And then, you know, went on to record them with Ramesh and what have you. And I think it was so at the time we booked Middle Farm, we were free agents as a band. You know, we weren't like, technically we were unsigned going into Middle Farm. So we fronted the studio. Dan had got us. I think what had happened is Dan had got us the time. We had written like most of the record, and Dan was like, right, this is 5-week booking time in Middle Farm that I can get for a little bit cheaper than it usually is. And we were like, ooh, like nice discount. So obviously we were like, yeah, let's do it. Let's like set the date for Middle Farm and let's go there and do the record. So yeah, that's like what I can remember of that. And then sort of the first week in Feb was we were in like our writing space, our office in Cardiff, working on the demos, working on the songs with Dan, going through songs. He was, you know, sort of recommending little bits here and there. And we, I think on the live stream yesterday, I think we brushed over it like really briefly, but Afterlife and Curse Me, we ended up doing, you know, we didn't finish Afterlife until we were in the studio, and Curse Me was very much like bones of the song before we went in. So it was like that week was like heavily like focused on those songs and getting those songs finished. And yeah, having like Dan's input is like, I'm like, you know, we've talked already like so much about, you know, the next album having Dan again, but you know, maybe going somewhere in like France, for example, and going to a nice studio in France, or like, you know, how an album then evolves when you're in a place like France, and how that environment impacts the album. And you know, we've had the poetry that Lucas wrote, and having Annika, who is on the album in bits, like talking, do we then include a French speaking person on the album, and having that as like something, you know, we've now, as you know, we always say, like, you sort of unlock things as a band that you're like, oh, we've done this now, so, and this works really nicely, we like this, so do we do that again on the next one and see what people think? And you know, I think that would be like, that's sort of like, large scale plan.
Yeah.
We've been talking about these things, and it's like, yeah, it's very it's exciting, man, that like we've just put out the album, we're already working on demos, we already have a plan for album 3, and we're already like talking about, this has gone so well, why sort of, if it's not broke, don't fix it, just make it bigger,
That's it, isn't it? And it goes back to, we always talk about this with our friend Jamie, is like, you focus on the music because you love music, the rest will come, kind of thing. That's exactly the same with it being a band is your baby. You never stop thinking about it. You may lie in bed being like, I wonder if I come up with a drum fill like this, or whatever.
Mate,
you never stop.
All the time I'll be like in bed and I'll be like thinking about I'll like think about, I wouldn't even have like, I thought about it so much, like don't even have shows booked, but in my head I'm like, God, so we're in Paris and I'm thinking about like, I'm like, oh, we're playing No More Roses, and I'm like, actually there's space in this bit where I could do like a just a part, like I could slightly change something, and it would, like in Celebration Song, we didn't notice at the time we were recording, but there's a line that Lucas sings. I'm going to get the lyric up. We've been practicing it, and it literally took me until, Nath replied, by the way, sorry. Nath said, yeah, man, sounds hilarious. He's so keen. He's keen. He's in the book now. He's in the books. Where is it? Come on. I'm going to find it. Got to find it. So there's a lyric. It's sort of in the second verse, middle 8 section of Celebration Song, and we've done it quite a lot in previous songs where like the drums kind of follow the I don't even need to look, I've remembered it. The drums follow the vocal pattern, and Lucas's lyric is going, I write to death's door and look me in the eye, but the vocal pattern is like, I write to death's door. And I was like, oh, why am I not doing and like things like that I thought of after the fact, and I'm like, God, that's going to make it so much better to like listen to, as someone to listen to, at a show or whatever. They're going to be like, oh wow, like why didn't they do that on the record? And it's like, oh well, at the time, I think I said this before, that like, you write things in like if you look at a recording as like a pinpoint as to like hold an absence in February 2020, hold an absence in June 2021, we are now bum 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 bah, we're ready for that part now. I've thought about it more, and I've unlocked it, and it's just my dumb brain wasn't ready to figure it out yet and unlock that little part of the puzzle. But I'm fortunate enough that it works without it.
Well, I always think stuff like that, it's it makes those live shows special the same way playing those 4 songs you've learned from the old record would make that live show special. It's like, oh, they don't do that on the record, but when they do it live, it hits,
it kind of elevates it just ever so slightly. A nice little special moment. Best example is like when Architects play Doomsday, there's like a part in the song where Sam has like a big like part, but he doesn't do it like as he does on the record. There's like a slightly longer gap, and it like extends out, and everyone starts going, oh wait, he's not done it yet, and then he goes, and it's like, and everyone's like, oh my God, like this big like holy shit moment. Those like little parts that you kind of like wait for, that are like, oh,
that's it, isn't it?
Learns proper zup, didn't he? He's been sucked right out.
Mate, we have, I'm going to mention Jamie again, but Jamie from Anave.
Jamie Finch.
Yeah,
man. Yeah, good dude.
Jamie.
Lovely fella.
Whenever he comes on, we always get chatting about conspiracy theories.
Ooh.
Last time we were chatting, all of a sudden he got completely disconnected from the call, and we're like,
oh shit, yeah.
Oh God.
Like someone was listening into him.
This feels the same way.
Lund's got a little book, and he's like that. Yeah, Jamie was right. The conspiracy theories, and the FBI is like that. Hey, put down the book.
Put down the book.
Log off, sir. Log off.
Just get a notification on the laptop going, yeah, Mr. Lon, you've been informed that you've been discussing conspiracies on Zoom. You must now log out, turn off your computer, and leave it for 30 minutes.
It's even weirder considering we can't see.
Yeah,
Just frozen.
Yeah.
The way his voice is peaking though, sounded a bit like a Dalek for a second.
God. He's fully gone, mate.
See you again.
No,
I'm
you're
back.
fully...
Oh,
No, mate.
Your voice is here. Your audio is fine, but your video is it's just a little bit crispy.
I'm here audibly.
Maybe it's I'll tell you what I'll do real quick. 1 second. Let's try the old
Should I disconnect from Wi-Fi and
yeah, I've done the same. Try
sure everything's off.
Matt, if you try like turn your camera off and on, I don't know if that'll work. It could also be, I'll tell you what, mad for taking up your Wi-Fi. Those Google like Chromecast things, mate.
Oh damn! Are the speakers the same?
Yeah,
My voice
they suck the Wi-Fi out of your router like no one's business. It's mental.
They're always listening, Ash. They're always.
We've got
listening.
4 of them.
There
Oh,
you go.
God.
Fucking hell.
Oh, that's what's doing it, mate.
Christ.
That's what's doing it.
I've returned.
In the land of broadband.
Oh, so we've obviously had you on before.
Mm.
Oh, so we've discussed about pet peeves. We've discussed what's your favorite scary movie.
Yes, mate, we
So,
did.
Is there any additional pet peeves that we didn't mention
Squeeze
last
some more
time?
in, yeah.
Just some more. What else is it? What in the last year has annoyed me so much that it's turned into a pet?
What's pissed you off about 2021?
Yeah. Honestly, mate, don't know. Not playing shows is pissing me off, mate. Not being able to go and play shows. I think in the last year, mate, it's just really brought out a side of me where I'm like, right, I got to be really careful and choice with my words here. But like, people that, so, you know, I understand people are, and you know, working in retail, I totally get it. You know, people do have an exemption from the coronavirus. I don't know. Am I allowed to talk about the coronavirus on the podcast? Some people don't like people talking about it.
Yeah, mate, I don't mind.
Right,
It's a real thing, isn't it?
Banging.
Real.
So like some people wear a mask like this, and I'm like, come on, bro, put it over the other half of your respiratory system. That can't. I don't know. It doesn't.
HMV today buying your album. I was like,
I'm Donnie walking around like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, not necessarily a pet peeve, but it kind of irks me. I'm like, oh, just come on. It's like when your t-shirt ends up like this. You know what I mean? You're walking around and you're like, oh, yeah. And they're like, you got something on you, or you got something in, and you just don't. And like someone doesn't tell you. Like, you know, if you got like someone on your face and like no one you're like, oh, you got something in your teeth, man. Just a bit of spinach in your teeth, and you're like, oh, cheers, mate. I feel like, are you allowed to tell these people, oh, your mask's not on your nose? I know you've got tons of nerve in your face, so you should be able to tell it's not on there. But just it's not quite on there. But, yeah, that irks me. Nothing else really, mate. Honestly, man. Nah, I don't know. Nothing really irks me, man. I feel like because lots of things that would irk people are the result of people just not understanding that the actions of someone else, like maybe they haven't thought, and it's just like, it doesn't fucking matter, mate. Oh no, I'll tell you, I've got a pet peeve for you, mate. People that are ignorant to things that are fucking damaging the planet. Fucking, like, I can't stand it, mate. I can't fucking stand it. Like, it's fucking 2020. Like, stop complaining about paper straws. Like shit like that, you know what I mean? Like fucking documentaries are there to be watched now. You know, we're in, you know, we said it already in the podcast, it's the information age. Like, you're not a babe, but you fucking stop drinking milk. And if you fucking drink, I fucking itch it out. I can't stand it. Stop calling cow's milk normal and regular milk. It's not regular. It's made for baby cows. It's produced by a cow to feed a baby cow, to turn a baby cow into an adult cow. You're a human being. Drink fucking water, all right?
That's what we wanted. We got it.
That's a PSA.
Yeah.
Take it.
We got it.
that.
We triggered him.
Cut that, mate. Cut that out and just put that on YouTube. I'm ready to have everyone. So it's like
Actually, green triggered by milk.
everyone's like, actually, man, milk's really good for you. No, it's not.
Take some vitamins.
Yeah.
Take some vitamins.
Yeah, no.
Fuck me.
We got there. We got it out of me. That's my pet peeve, mate. Some people are like, oh, I don't like it when people don't look both ways when they cross the road. I'm like that. Think about the animals, boys.
I think we've, I think we've exhausted all of our.
Well, we've not, to be honest. I could just go right back.
Yeah,
to
I
the
know we
album
could
if you wanted
go
to be
back
like,
on. Yeah,
Ash, how
we
beautiful
could go
was it
straight
to
through,
finish
mate.
recording drums and see Lucas and his sister recording together and.
Oh, the Die Alone song, mate.
Yeah.
There was like an entire part of that. So the I'm gonna get you flagged again.
I told you boys I could go on. See, you wanted to end it a minute ago, and I'm like, nah.
He's done it. He's fully done it.
I was thinking for the sake of Ash.
No,
mate.
he's in this call now.
That's it. You've got
There's no leaving.
Right. Let me reference it. Right. 2 secs. So. Oh, this bit, right? This bit. So that bit of the song, sorry, May, I think I've got to edit it. If you want, you chuck the song in, I'll send you the drive link. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I had a little pop-up that said, set up professional audio in audio settings as well. Things like that. I got you, boys. Yeah, that part of the song, I remember so... like it's so ingrained in my like memory. Every time I hear that now, I like immediately Lucas was talking about this. When you have like when you listen to something and it like triggers a memory, it's like I can't remember what it is. It's like I can't remember. Oh wait, 1 sec. I'll try calling because I know he's free. There's like a thing that the brain does when you
just add him to this call at this point.
Yeah. when you have a memory and it's linked to like listening to a song or like thinking of a color or like eating something and thinking of something else, when it reminds you of something, there's a word for it. I think it's like an involuntary memory or something. It's something like that. Come on,
I would have no idea about this, to be honest.
So yeah, that when I listen to that, I have like this involuntary memory basically of like, oh, it's not available. Sorry, boys. I tried to get you the scoop.
It's all good.
Couldn't get it. Yeah, like I remember like in Middle Farm, they have these really nice big long couches, like long enough to fit mind a 6'4" person on them horizontally, like head to toe, like my entire body can fit on them. I remember just laying there the entire time, listening to Kate track that part of the song and just fucking crying, like I just couldn't stop crying the whole time. I was like, this is unreal. Like this sounds insane. The whole, she was tracking the verses and stuff and parts in the chorus. I was like, my God, I was just like overcome with emotion. And then as soon as she started tracking that bridge part, I just couldn't. I was like, fucking hell, boys. I just couldn't stop. And like every time I now hear that, I just like, yeah, I just have that thing of where I'm like, bloody hell, it just takes me right back to laying there looking up at like the skylight in Middle Farm and just being like, bloody hell, like it's really nice, man. Yeah, I think it's and Lucas speaks about it in the doc. He's said about it on the live stream and in a couple of interviews. It's such a special moment for him and Kate. They both like grew up singing together and playing piano together and singing together, and it's like something that we wrote the song to be a duet, but we didn't plan on having Kate. We planned on having a different vocalist, like a vocalist in a band, but just so happened that it ended up, Lucas chatted about it. It was like, oh, I don't think we're going to be able to get this vocalist, and I don't know if Kate offered up to be like, I'll do it, or if Lucas was like, do you want to do it? I'm not sure, but they chatted enough to sort of come to that sort of, the literally her coming to the studio like a week after and tracking that song in, man. Like, yeah, and it was really special. It was really nice. Yeah.
Oh, mate.
Quick pee or
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, mate, go for it.
Right.
We're editing anyway, mate. We may as well
Dude.
all in.
Please, God, Help me to release this demon!
We're talking about dialogue, aren't we? Yeah.
We were. And how great it was to see Lucas and Kate.
Yeah, man. Oh, although speaking about laying down on the big sofas in Middle Farm, every morning, like especially doing the drum tracking, like every day we'd like go in and the monitors were like just mad. I couldn't tell you what they were, but they're like fucking, someone probably knows, someone could probably look at the documentary and be like, oh, they're the Ultron megalomegalers.
It's either Focal or Genelec. That's my guess.
So
I'm not seen them yet, but
Gentilec, Gentibonti,
yeah.
The Gently Bonkies. So we'd go in and we'd like load up Spotify, you know, before the session. We wouldn't even load up the session. We'd load up the bit and we'd listen to Time by Hans Zimmer just in the morning. We just lay there and we'd just let it fucking build, and like the walls would go blah, 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 with all the fucking cellos and the bass and everything, and just lay there and just be like, God, I can't believe I'm bloody in Middle Farm, mate. Mental. Can't believe I'm in Middle Farm about to track fucking drums. I just got to ground myself a bit and just really like, yeah.
How was that space? Did it feel like you really living, breathing the record and just 100% attention just on?
Yeah, man, like 100%. If you could bird's eye view the studio, take the roof off and look inside. I know that so Pete, the guy that owns and runs it all, Pete Miles. Pete recently, like underneath Middle Farm, there was like it's essentially, for people that don't know, it's like a really big sort of country house estate, and it's like a big barn, and the live room is really like iconic for its like sound and the reflections that you get in there when you're recording stuff, and he doesn't know why, it just is. He literally can't. We're like, why is it so good, man? He's like, I don't know, he just is. But he's such a like nice, humble guy. But yeah, he's basically been converting like the underneath. So he has like a Studio B almost, which is a bit more like controlled. And he's like, I think that's the case anyway. Yeah, so if you took the roof off of like the main part where there's like the live room, is like, let's say, you know, it's here and it's on the right hand side. You go through the live room a little bit. This is a little control room, probably no bigger than like an average sized bedroom. You know, it's aptly sized, or maybe a living room. You know, it's aptly sized. You get like a sofa in there. Right next to the sofa, on, you know, if you're looking at the desk on this side, there's, you know, a big shelving unit with some guitar heads, and then the door to the kitchen, but then another sofa on the other side, you know, so it's quite small. And then they got, before we went, they've got like a big desk put in as well, and then right next to that is the kitchen and like a dining sort of area, and the kitchen is like tiny. It's like, it's so small, but it's like really cozy, you know. So like when there's seven, you know, at any one time, I think the most of us that were there were maybe 9, you know, with the 4 of us in the band, Dan, Joe, the engineer, Beth, and Charlie, so 8. So there's like 8 of us there at any one time, and you know, 8 people in this tiny room. It was kind of like 3 people on like a pull-out bench to the big table, and then 5 around the table. It was like full, like it was amazing. And like listening to just nice instrumental like music, eating dinner every night and just chatting, really, like I feel like that's like some of the nicer parts of that experience, was having dinner together, you know, at 7 o'clock. We do it, like someone would be making food, whether it was, you know, I was tracking and Lucas was making food, or Scott was tracking and James was making food, you know, whoever was tracking, you know, at 7 o'clock, it'd be like, right, little bell, ring the bell, everyone comes in and we all gather around and have a nice supper together. It was great, man. Yeah. And then some nights, you know, Dan would be chatting and he'd be like, yeah, I think we should carry on tonight. I think, you know, we'll have like a couple of you know, him and Lucas or him and Scott would have a couple of glasses of wine and play some acoustic guitar or do some more tracking, or he'd be like, oh, you know what, let's watch a film tonight, and we'd watch the Saint Anchor documentary or something. Like we just have a nice sit together and watch a film or something, or he'd dip off and we'd like play a board game or something. Like, yeah, it was really nice, man. It was such a like bonding like experience, as much as it was like the creating of a record is something that like, yeah, I feel like I'm so glad that I was so present for the whole time. You know, I really like made that effort every day to be like, almost like meditate and be like, just no matter how trivial something seems, just look where you are and look what you're doing. Like I've always wanted to do that, you know? So it was really, really special, man. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a holding absence family coming together over the evening.
Yeah.
Reflect on what you've done, and mate, there's nothing like nicer than the thought of like, oh, let's have some glasses of wines. And I think Scott said it in the listening party. People should have really gone and watched the listening party because we've just repeated stuff here. But I think Scott was like, yeah, like playing acoustic guitar at 4 a.m. and it's those obscure things where you're like, damn, it makes it special.
Yeah, dude. There was I think towards the end there was like a day where we'd gone from the studio out to a restaurant like in the town sort of nearby, and Dan had said like, oh, you know, we'll go and get food and then we'll call it a night. And we were out and we were talking, and he was like, no, boys, fuck it, I'm fucking fired up, we need to do some more bits tonight. And we were like, yes, like, you know, that's like the night time I feel a lot of musicians sort of get a lot of their work done, you know, the real like you know, like people like me and James and to be fair, Lucas is like freaky for being a nighttime worker. I'll see messages from him on my phone like 3 a.m. So I'm like, he's a nighttime boy. Yeah, like it was, and Dan, you know, Dan sort of said yesterday, you know, not all bands are creative 9 till 6, you know, like he was prepared for that 5 weeks to be like, yeah, let's fucking record guitars until 4 a.m, you know, let's put in the shifts into the early or later hours, as it were, and really like make the record special, you know, which I think, yeah, you know, like you guys have said, it shows, and we're really, wow, like, yeah, we're super proud of, man. Yeah.
I think you can kind of tell with just listening to it. I think you've got something which is incredible as a record. And
thanks, mate.
Not to kiss your ass, but yeah, it's fucking good.
Oh, thanks, man. Thank you so much. Yeah.
I think I commented when you posted about the release of the album. I think I put instant classic, and I think it's pretty.
Yeah,
thank you, mate. Yeah. Thanks, man. Yeah, thank you all so much. And you know, to anyone that's like listening that may not have heard it and like goes on to listen to it, you know, thanks for that time. And to anyone that has listened to it, you know, obviously thank you. And you know, it's such a like wild thing to be like, you know, I think sort of trying to tie the, you know, the things that we always talk about, you know, when we end up chatting, like to be able to be like, at the time of recording the album, the other guys were like 2 years younger than me, you know, so it's like by the time they're my age now, you know, that, you know, 2 years time, they could have another record. And it's like, I feel so lucky to be in a band with those guys right now, because like I'm getting to the point in my life where I'm going to be 30 soon. Like I'm going to start being like, I need to worry about my credit score. I need to look at I need to fucking, I don't know, get healthcare, get life insurance, dumb stuff like that. That's like old people responsible stuff, you know? And like, I'm really like clutching at this like thing of being like, in my head, I'm still like 26, you know, I was 26 when I recorded the first record. Now it's like, okay, I'm 28. Like I'm trying to look at it long term, but I can't see past that enough to be like, I'm enjoying it now. And like, I'm really fighting myself a lot of the time to do that. But I think it's super, it's like, you know, days like today, the day after it comes out, where I'm talking to people and they're actually like, yeah, man, it is like really good. You know, I feel so weird being like, when people are like nice about it, they're like, yeah, it's really good. I feel really weird saying the album's really good, because like, it's just not in me to be like, I think it's good, even though I kind of do think it's good. I don't like saying that I think it's really good. Yeah. I feel like a bit like like, what's the word? Arrogant, even though I know it doesn't come from a place of arrogance, but anyway, it just makes it so much more like, God, I'm so glad that like I didn't like buckle under the pressures of like a world where it's like, just go get a normal job, man. Finish uni and go get a regular job. I'm so glad I was like, fuck, I finished uni and just moved to Cardiff and like scrambled to get a bar job and didn't have a job for 4 days. And I was like, shit, I need to get to work. I need to pay rent, blah, blah, blah. And then got let go from like 8 jobs in that year or whatever. And like, just fucking had to work to make the rent. And like, it's so like, when your family are like, oh, maybe you shouldn't, maybe, go get a job in photography. And I'm like, nah, fuck it. I'll sell my camera. I'm definitely not going to go back to photography now. I'm sold on my stuff. I'm definitely doing the music thing. And like getting like a Radio 1 player at the time was like, even now, man, like it's so like, what?
Yeah.
It's so hard to articulate because like I just feel so like I'm not the person that it's almost like an imposter syndrome thing at this point where I'm like, damn, I'm not this person that I kind of like am, even though I am. So it's like, yeah, I just feel like, I don't know. It's like, I wish 4 years ago I could have known that. No, actually, no, I'm glad I didn't know because I wouldn't have probably worked as hard because I knew it was guaranteed. And because I don't know things after this are guaranteed, it's like, if you thought this was like good and we worked hard, fucking mate, just wait. Like, this is a classic. The next one is legacy, set in stone, game-changing album. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we're gunning for. Like, I've seen, like, someone said, oh, it's a masterpiece. It's like, this is going to be a demo in comparison to record 3, mate.
I love
Just
it.
you wait.
Yes.
The fire is the biggest it's ever been, mate. Like,
Because mate, if you didn't sell your photography stuff and you were like, yeah, I've got a job where there's a bit of a career path with it, this record might not have been what we have released yesterday. So it all leads to one thing, and now there's a fire underneath you for record 3.
Mental, mate. It's absolutely unreal. Like some of the instances where it's like, God, this whole thing that I have right now is literally just a case of whether or not I said yes or no, and stupidly I always said yes. I always said yes to I was like, want to come fill on this tour? Yep. Didn't know anything about it. I'll just do it. Want to move to Cardiff after uni? Yep. Don't have a job. Don't know what I'm doing. Man, in 2018, after we did the tour with Loathe, we were like, so there was I can't remember the bands, man, but it was like April 2018, and it was like, oh, you might get the chance to, a band has had to pull out of this tour in Europe. The next date is in like Germany, but it's in 2 days, and you might do it. And I was like, I was living back with my parents, and I was like, fantastic. Pulled my suitcase out, packed all my things in the suitcase. This wasn't even confirmed. And like, we didn't get it. But then that afternoon I went to Cardiff and like we practiced because we were like, oh, we might be going on tour like with a band, and it didn't work. And I was like, oh shit, I don't really want to go home. So like just got a job and like sofa surfed for like 2 months before we then went out on tour for that month-long Europe tour with Being as an Ocean, and then fucking went to see Bullet, and like then came back and like moved into a place. But it's like, I don't know where I'm going with it, mate. But yeah, just fucking always hard work, mate. Always yes. Always yes. And like that whole thing of saying yes to stuff has now led me to this point, to a second interview with the boys. And it's like, I've made 3 amazing friends in this podcast and through you guys. And it's like,
oh mate,
how much, obviously, like I wanted to be better, but like this is so good, mate. Sure, how does life get better than this, man? You know what I mean?
Mate, honestly, I think after that podcast talking about how great of a friend you are, I was on a high of like, I got a new best friend. I don't know if all the listeners know this. Jess is sick of hearing your name because I'm like, Jess, we've got to get back for 7. Why? I'm chatting to Ash. Like, no, come on, we gotta go. We gotta go. She fucking hates it, man. But mate, after that podcast, we were all chatting about coffee and having a laugh and chatting for an hour. There's no one else who would do that.
I think we
Yeah,
felt
mate.
motivated, didn't we? Like when we was talking about it,
Huge
even though,
motivation.
like we all came off it and was like, fuck, man, that was.
It's a high, isn't it? Mate?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Fucking infectious to be around, Ash.
Oh, mate.
Mate, I'm so happy for you for this record.
Thanks, man. Thanks, man.
It's
That's
the
all
same
that.
with Katie, Natalie, Ryan, like all the friends we've made through you. It's
Yeah.
infectious of being like, oh, fucking hell. I've never had this many friends.
Oh,
You
mate.
know?
I posted the
Mate,
Discord
gas.
into yesterday on the release day, and I was just like, "New Music Friday, who's everyone listening to?" And I was like, "Don't need to actually say."
yeah. Obviously, we all know.
Everyone's already bloody
We know the
got their
answer.
copy. Like, oh, mate. Yes, it's really special, man. I'm so grateful for like you guys. You know, it's really nice, dude. Like, and it's so like whenever I see you fellas like and Natalie and Katie and Ryan, you know, interacting with each other, I'm like, God, it's so nice seeing like your friend. Like, it's like that thing of like the weird 7 degrees of like separation where like Matt's mum kind of knows Matty's auntie, and then a week later they're in like a pub getting drinks together and fucking having a whale of a time. You're like, oh, you two know each other, and it's like, yeah, kind of. You introduced us, but now we're mates, and it's like, God, bloody hell, seeing you fellas like be mates with like my other mates. I'm like, I love this. This is fucking brilliant. It's so
Podcast
nice.
first.
Yeah, mate. When we can do a bloody big get together,
Oh,
you know,
mate, it's
it'll
gonna
be
be
so nice.
Yeah.
It'll be amazing.
7
Yeah.
people podcast or something. Definitely.
Yes.
Yeah, mate.
Definitely.
It'd be
it's not even
wild.
got to be recorded. It's just for us. Like,
Yeah.
brew a coffee.
Basically, the way I see this is like at some point, right? Someone we all know is going to get married, and like we're all going to be invited to that wedding, and it's going to be like, oh, fucking boys, like, you know, Natalie and Katie, the boys. You know, it's going to
Ash
be
with a
like,
hip flask of cold brew.
Yeah.
yeah, mate. It's going to be like, yeah, a little bit. It's like I think that's, and yeah, man, to like swing back to getting older, like you just like cherish stuff like that so much more, man. Like these like chats with you boys now, like I fucking, you know, we could talk about the album as much as you want, but like just hanging out, dude, like
Mate,
I love
yeah.
it so much. Like I really like cherish stuff like this now because it's like, you know, underneath all the like tertiary like rubbish of like small talk, like I just love having deep chats with the boys and really like that's like, yeah, that's like I fucking talking to my friend earlier, Pete, about it. It was like, he was like, man, punk rock is like saying that you're feeling upset and you need like some support from your mates. I'm like, yeah, dude, because fucking like for years it's always been like, oh, man up and like deal with it. But now it's just like, oh, mate, I fucking want to have a cry. And your mate's like, go on then, go on, have a cry. Let's have a cry together. Come on, let's talk about it. What's going on? Embrace that, you know? And like, yeah, I'm like, I'm fucking so punk to say, yeah, I fucking just want to chat and hang out with the boys and eat a bit of my sourdough bread, you know, and
That's why
just
we
hang
like,
out, mate.
That's why we liked Idols. Like,
Yeah,
the diminishing factor of like, no, don't say man up. Fucking own your feelings.
yeah, dude. Yeah, and I'm like, again, like to talk about that, I feel very lucky to be able to talk about my feelings with you boys. You know, it's really nice, really special. Cherish
Anytime.
it. Cherish you all.
Anytime.
Right.
I feel like we don't have to talk
I
about the
know.
album. Should we
I
just
know,
stop
that's-
recording and have a chat?
Yeah, we should just scrap off the recording and just have a
Yeah.
natter.
There you go. We'll all start having a cry now. Be like, oh man, the other night I had a really bad dream and you were upset and I cried. And we're like, oh, it's all right, man. You know.
Mate, usually I get like so nervous about a podcast. These two will tell you,
Mm.
like, without a doubt. And we went to my brother's to like see my nephew and celebrate his birthday a bit. Hence why I'm drinking beer. And then
Nice.
just like, and you got a podcast later. I was like, it's Ash. It's gonna be a laugh. Don't
Be
worry.
fine, mate.
Down another beer. You know, it's gonna be sound.
Yeah, mate.
It's the boys.
Yeah, mate. And like, mate, take that into everything because like the people that are like the nice people will like just fucking vibe with you. And like the people that are like kind of weird and like, oh, all right, of like fucking, they've got something going on and it's like, yeah, man, just fucking like, we're gonna die, mate. I could get hit by a bus tomorrow. I'm not gonna sit here and mope and be like, oh yeah, I could be doing something else. No, man, I'm gonna fucking love this. And then whatever I'm doing in a minute, whether I'm cooking dinner or just sat on the sofa making farts with my girlfriend, I'm just gonna fucking love that as well. Like, it's all too short to ever like worry about what you're doing. And if you don't want to do a fucking podcast with someone, don't do it, man. Just say no. Don't waste these three legends' time by coming onto a podcast and be like, all right, yeah, a bit fucking, yeah. Fucking Sean goes on about it with the Sapnum where they couldn't post a podcast because someone was such a fucking, was just moody about it. And I'm like,
cut.
just fuck off. Like, you know, they've got stuff to do that they love. Like, you know, like if you don't want to do a podcast, just A, don't agree to it. B, don't be in a band. You know, you gotta have a lot of love for people, man. Yeah, you gotta have a lot of love for people when you when you want to do something artistic, because you got to be like so vulnerable and open. So yeah, man, just embrace that. You know,
I think it shows, man, because the we can chat for this amount of time and just keep going. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and be like, 2 minutes, boys. I'm gonna go grab some
go
sourdough from the kitchen. Yeah.
On to Rogan Lamps, boys. We're on to Rogan Lamps.
Yeah. I've converted you all. Oh my God, it's 9:30. Oh my God.
2.5 hours.
We just said I'm going to make farts with my girlfriend. My girlfriend's going to she's going to throttle me in a minute when I finish.
Apologies to Gabby.
You said it'd be 45 minutes.
Have we beat last time's time? What hour was it last time?
I don't know. Should we have a look? I'll have a look now.
I know, I've got my tea in the oven now. She was like, when
I've not eaten
yet.
But going back to what you said, Ash, like all the guests that have really resonated with, like, that was fucking sick. It is people that I feel like we've vibed with, like Milky, like Sean and Morgan and Junior.
Nice.
Yeah, man. And that's why I was blaming the water between Wales and Bristol, because I was like, surely they're all cool people, because, you know.
Yeah, mate, the last one was 2 hours and 6.
Oh, he's beat me to it.
We've beat 6. Yes, boys.
We're going to cut some bits out, but we're on 2:36.
As long as it's, Matty, as long as it's 2 hours and 7 minutes, it's fine. All right.
Keep the brand going with the morning song and stuff. It's got to be a little longer. Dude, fuck part 3. We've got to go over 3 hours. I'm coming back for that, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Special guest. Not even special. At this point, I'm resident. I'm on the podcast. We've got Matt Pearson back as a guest. Like, he's come back to do an episode, like.
Hopefully it'll be in person next anyway.
Oh, mate. That'd be a hell of a time, man. That'd be so good. I mean, we wouldn't get anything done. The podcast would just descend into like
just be grabbing
like
drinks
7 hours.
Yeah, like if you fucking that'd be mint though, wouldn't it? Go on. Yeah, if you fellas want to do one at a show or whatever, let me know and I'll sort you out. I'll sort you out with the old guest list, like and we'll sort you out, mate. Yeah,
appreciate that.
As long as it's headline though, don't pick a show with support because we don't get a lot of guest lists. The headline though, I'll sort you out.
I mean, we'll be at a show when you're supporting anyway, just for gigs to be back, regardless.
Let's do it.
Just to hear the reaction to the first album, like to the new album, like and when you kick in, I'm like,
I was like, so hard to, you know, obviously see from fucking the back of the stage, but I've always wanted to like some shows like you look out and you're like, gosh, you'll be playing, you're like, oh, it's the fucking boys over there. Oh, it's the boys over there. Oh, all right, bye. You know, like as you like kind of get to like know everyone that comes to the shows regularly, you're like, oh, fucking Ludwig, but they're like, you know, like, yeah, and I just see you boys. I hope you fellas are the kind of ones that like kind of, I gotta make sure I've got enough length on my cable. You're like right at the back of the sound desk, so just like that.
Oh, mate, you couldn't have summed us up more.
I'm actually opposite from that. I like being up front, me, and getting involved with everything.
Ah, yes, mate.
At this age, yeah.
Nice, mate.
But
nice.
I can't help but feel like we went watching Cutting Teeth and Raiders, starring Gatter in Manchester.
Oh, nice, mate.
It was sick, but it was so sparse. Like,
yeah,
the people there that we were just stood there like,
Yeah.
You know,
Mm.
mate. Oh, I miss shows.
Oh, damn it, mate. Let's get him back. Let's bloody get him back. All right.
Can we-
Not long.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
I'm hoping, like, I think the hope and the dream is November. Like, if that November tour can happen, mate, it's fine. I don't care that Download has been cancelled. I don't care that, you know, festivals have been cancelled for summer. If November can happen, and it's been 2 years nearly since we played a show, and we can play a show in November, good.
Yeah, man.
Oh, that's it. That's all I'm holding on to. But boys, if it gets to November and they've pushed the shows again, fucking hard chance of seeing me play a fucking show in Holden Absence. I might fucking just quit music at that point.
Whoa. Right, we're cutting that out.
Yeah,
That
no.
isn't happening. Jeez.
Actually, a scoop, mate. That's
I
good,
cannot
buddy.
let that live on forever. Fucking hell, Ash.
Imagine now it gets to October and they're like, we're gonna have to announce a lockdown, and everyone just looks at me like this, and I'm like, it's all right, boys. It was just a passing comment, and they're like, oh, God, imagine. On that, I might. If we got I hate to be the fucking one that's like,
Ash,
can we rap?
We've not done long enough, mate. Clearly. Yeah, of course, man.
Okay, I can stay.
Of course, mate. Not that I need to say this, but huge thank you for coming on and go stream The Greatest Mistake of My Life for anyone listening this far in.
Is this going to come out in a bit? Like, is it going to come out the first week of the album coming out?
Monday, mate.
Banging. In which case, right? The album. All right.
Oh, do it again.
Go on iTunes and buy the album, please, or just leave your phone on and stream it on repeat. Like, I'm not even being low key anymore. I'm going to be high key about this. I
Go into
And a low-
HMV, prioritize the fucking marketing scheme.
we are. Come on.
Oh, look at this.
We're all getting involved, mate.
Is this
There
going
we
to be the
go.
screenshot for that?
I'll just put that on there.
Oh, wait.
Right, one
Actually,
sec.
we
There
need
we
your
go.
glasses as well.
There we are.
Right.
There we are.
3, 2, 1.
Boys.
Nice, boys. Nice. There we are. Please,
Nailed it.
boys. Please.
I'm so excited to put on an apology note after hearing Lucas talk about it yesterday.
Mate,
Is the reason I bought the CD because I don't want to buy
Nice.
vinyl anymore. This
Nice,
sold
mate.
me immediately.
mate. Honestly, do any of you drive?
Yeah,
Yes.
all of us.
Oh, bro, go listen to the album in a car.
Yeah,
like,
mate.
if you
For
can just
sure.
go and drive for a bit. We got the mixes back like when I was working in a coffee shop, and I remember like I finished one like a shift in the afternoon, and I went for a drive and listened to it, and I was just like, bloody hell! Like, I don't know what it is about driving and listening to an album that just makes it so much better.
Yeah.
I think it's like the concentration of like, you have to focus on driving, but you can take in so much because there's nothing happening with your ears. They're like, honestly, man, like, it's so nice to drive to. I think
There's even like producers will check a mix in a car.
In a
won't
car,
they? Just
yeah,
because
mate.
It sounds so good, and that's
Mm.
probably where half the people listen to stuff.
Yeah, mate.
Listening to this album, like I always picture like instances when I feel like it would be the best time to listen to it. And listening to this before, it made me feel like, you're like a night drive and you've got like a nice summer night.
Oh, mate.
And you just put that on in the background and just vibe to it.
Big.
Gives me those sort of feels.
Big, mate, big. I just realized some of you have been like smashing the beers, so like, don't go for a drive.
Wait,
Listen
what?
to it after this.
Screaming out the window, I'm alive.
God, yeah, don't go for a drive after this, boys. Maybe tomorrow morning if you're not feeling you haven't got too bad headache. But
Die Alone comes on mid crash.
God, oh
Jesus.
It's the
God.
perfect soundtrack for a drunk drive. People.
Oh God, bloody hell, man.
Yeah, that's
Aye.
getting cut, isn't it?
Drink responsibly and drive responsibly, fellas. Oh,
Well, go listen
Yeah,
to The
boys.
Greatest Mistake of My
Yeah,
Life.
alright.
Right.
Thanks a
Let's
lot,
let
Ash. Anyway,
Ash, yeah.
appreciate it.
thanks for
You
the
part
Matties,
3.
bye.
Hey,
That's it. See you in a year when Matt Pearson comes back to do another episode. We'll
this'll
come
all
back.
make sense on Wednesday, people.
Yeah, mate. Fantastic.
That was
Sorry, I had to get a quick laugh in there. It was like a Peter Griffin laugh, wasn't it?
Oh,
This is staying in.
ooh, that's a weird outro, isn't it?
It
That
is.
was episode 50 with Ashley Boy of Holding Absence. What a record. I'm sorry it derailed, but what a record.
What a chat. What a record. And as I've already stated in this intro, go to your online store of your preference
And
or
make
your
the-
stream.
Make the best decision of your life and pick
Hey,
up this album.
you are full
Dude.
of puns. You are full of puns. this
I
episode.
fucking knew it.
Yeah, go and get a copy of this album. It is an absolute stonker, and you will not regret it.
Stonker.
Yeah,
Stop.
You've not seen that in the reviews,
I've
have you?
not heard that.
This album, 10 out of 10. Stonker.
Stonk.
Fucking stonk.
Oh,
it's a
man.
stonker. It is. Oh. Anyway, yeah, go and stream it on whatever platform you prefer. Go and spam the hell out of it. Leave it on repeat when you go to sleep. Whatever your preference is, just go and check out the album because it is an absolutely incredible collection of work. So yeah, there is that.
100%. I mean, go check out the documentary as well if you want to see more behind the album. Yeah, so
Huge shout out to Mosh Charlie for working on it and Ash for editing.
So
As
yeah,
you all know by now.
yeah, after that 2.5 hour, I think roughly.
Yeah, something like that. We're at
See
3
how it
hours
comes
on
out.
this Zoom chat, so
Yeah, man. But yeah, go check out all Holding Absent socials as you should already do, and go check out ours Discord. And yeah, I'm not gonna go through it all again because Discord is where you get the in scoop in there. So if you really want an in with like guests and shit, get on Discord and see some fluffy dogs on there while you're at it. Talk
Why
about
not?
coffee,
Horrors.
horror movies.
we're wasting time. People could go stream The Greatest Mistake of My Life. So go do that
Exactly.
now.
Go, 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 go.
Bye.